fight alone will make us rich beyond our wildest dreams.
Even with our eyes wide open, we can't see a thing. We're the Disenfranchised Podcast, that podcast all about those franchises of one, those films that fancy themselves full-fledged franchises before falling flat on their face after the first film. Joining me, as always, my co-host, the man who would gladly trade his sense of sight for the opportunity to never have to see this movie in the first place. It's Tucker. Hey, Tucker.
Hello, Steven.
How we doing, buddy?
Doing all right. Doing fantastic. I feel really good. In fact, I'm elated because you know what?
No, what?
The movie's over, and I don't ever have to fucking watch it again. So it's like, you know, you guys ever almost die? Never happened to you?
Yeah.
Maybe? No? Okay. Well, see, when you almost die, and you wake up the day after and realize that you're not dead, like, you're in the best mood. So that's why, like, Steven was getting my texts during this movie, and they were not nice, and they were upset and angry and distraught. But as soon as it was over, best mood ever. Feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
Doing fine. We are, this is episode 2 of our second ever sequel theme month, Big in Japan 2, even bigger. Last week we covered a movie we did not enjoy, 2000s Versus. This week we're covering another movie, Gee, I wonder how Tucker felt about it. But we're not alone. We are joined by friend of the podcast, and I would wager the biggest fan I know of this series. In fact, we have him on for the stuff I know he's a fan of, because I know he's got a ton of things to say, and I don't know half as much as he does. It's Samuel Dumas, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Sam, how's it going?
Hey, it is going. Thanks for having me back. I also hate 2000s Versus. Why is that highly rated?
It's too much.
I never finished it. It was too boring. I'm like, eh.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It is simultaneously too much and not enough in the plot department.
Yeah, it's like highly rated. I think the director's like supposed to be good, but I've never seen.
He's
good
the Midnight Meat Train guy.
Versus is like a Pixies song, but like in a bad way. Because like a Pixies song is loud, quiet, loud. You know, like there's the quiet part and there's the loud part, and that's how Versus is. Like there's action, and then there's so much not action, and then there's action, but just in the worst way.
Yeah,
like the action is too much, and the stuff that's not action is not enough.
Oh wait, right. He did Azumi. I liked Azumi. That was good. Okay. Well, anyways. Oh, and Final Wars, guys. Godzilla Final Wars.
Oh. Hey, that's the one where he fights the American Godzilla.
Yeah, it's the one where he fights the American Godzilla. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like he's there for 5 seconds because regular ass Godzilla's like, nah, dude.
Well, yeah,
and all of a sudden,
Sam's coming back around on this movie.
They had a roster to get through for that. He killed every monster.
Yeah, well, well, you know, I read that actually that Godzilla is the American Godzilla is officially part of like the whole Godzilla canon, but they call him Zilla.
Yep.
Because I think that's
Sam is the one who explained this to me.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. I love that. Also, that was the first movie I realized that sometimes people speak English in foreign movies. I was so confused by some of that movie because there's an American actor in it who's the best part of that movie, by the way. But he speaks English. He doesn't speak Japanese. Where everyone else is speaking Japanese. It's kind of funny.
Oh, that's wild.
Well, because they can read each other's subtitles. So
yeah,
like the Japanese people can see his words as subtitles, and he can see all the Japanese. So yeah.
Speaking of subtitles, Zatōichi.
Hey.
2003.
Yes, we are covering the 2003 Takeshi Kitano remake of Zatōichi, based on the franchise of the same name, written by, directed by, and starring Takeshi Kitano, aka Beat Takeshi as Zatōichi. Several other actors in it as well. I'm going to do my best. Tadanobu Asano, Michio Okusu, excuse me, Yui Natsukaya Kawa, sorry, excuse me. I'm just gonna stop there. I'm just gonna further embarrass myself and probably create an international incident if I keep going.
Probably.
But yeah. What a cast. What a picture.
Can't agree with either of those. Actually,
okay.
It's gonna be silent. Like
here's the thing. I think it's pretty safe to say none of us really enjoyed our time with this movie.
Okay.
But Sam, Sam's like, I did. What are you talking about?
No, no, don't throw me under that bus. I have more emotional connection to this, and I feel the same way about with does.
Who? Who's?
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's
The letter J. The letter J. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure it out still.
Sammy is grandfathered in. So for the rest of this episode, Sammy is allowed to call me by my first name, my Christian name.
Is this the first time your Christian name has ever not been beeped on the main feed?
Who says it hasn't been beeped?
Touche.
Because Sammy, maybe as a challenge, you just keep calling me by that name. We'll see how far I get into the episode before I give up on beeping it.
Okay, I'm going to get this in here while we're still early on.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you, dude.
Since you're going to be beeping shit anyway, I figured you might as well.
I'm going to have to listen to this whole episode while I edit it, aren't I?
I mean, you did just give Sam the challenge.
I did.
Well,
I did. Yes,
I don't
Sammy,
for real. I don't like to dead name people, so I want to make sure that I'm giving you the proper names.
No. Look, it's not that deep. Like, if it were a dead name situation, I would instruct my parents not to call me the J word anymore. But they are grandfathered in. In fact, they gave me that name, so I'm gonna let them call me that.
I'm gonna let it slide for them.
And Sammy, you're in that same boat. Like you have known me. That's true. That's true. You were part of that process somehow, even though it was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years before you were born.
At least, yeah.
At least,
yeah. It's
for
a
real,
spiritual thing, guys.
Yes,
right.
yes,
very much so.
For real, Sammy, don't worry about it. You can call me what you want to call me, but Steven, you have to call me Tucker.
I was not planning on calling you anything else.
Look, I respect you enough not to blaspheme in front of you, Steven, but not enough to let you use my first name.
I'm not planning on using your first name.
Okay.
Why am I getting chucked under the bus here? What the fuck did I do?
I just thought it would be a fun bit.
I was
throwing
looking
Steven
around
under the bus
you.
Is always a fun bit.
Yeah, it's great.
I get that.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
it's the best.
It's our favorite. It's our national pastime.
Yes.
Chucking my fat ass under a bus. Hooray!
Whee! There you go.
We are here to cover the 2003 Zatōichi, and the reason I asked if you wanted to be on this episode, Sam, is because I seem to recall years ago having a conversation with you in which you shared with me your love of this character and this franchise. Is that safe to say?
Yes, even though I've only, before you asked me to be on this podcast, I had only ever seen 5 movies. The first 5.
Out of a possible 26 in the original series, yes.
Correct.
Yeah, 26 in the original series. I had only seen up to 5. And I'll explain why. There's actually a good reason why. You got to get to 6. Because 6... Whew. But at this point, I have seen 11 of the originals. I've seen 11 of the originals. Okay. And then this 2013. I wouldn't even call it a reboot. I would actually call it a continuation.
Okay, I mean, it feels very remake. It's got remake vibes all over it, just because those early 2000s remake things. Yeah,
it's really weird. There's a weird history with this one, this cursed movie.
I can't wait to hear you get into it.
Yeah, weird. So it's safe to say I'm a big fan of the character. I first saw a trailer for a Zatōichi movie on a Shogun Assassin DVD. I thought, oh shit, I want more of this. And then I thought I got the first movie. And apparently the trailer I saw was for movie number 24. So
right.
But
you had a long way to go.
I had a long way to go and I hadn't got that far yet. But I'm going to finish. I'm locked into the series now. The series is awesome. 11 movies, not one bad one. Imagine 11 good movies.
So here's the thing, Sam. Much in the same way that the Roland Emmerich Godzilla, another episode you were on, was my first exposure to the character of Godzilla. This movie, the Takeshi Kitano remake, is my first exposure to the character of Zatōichi. So what should I have known going in? What would have increased or maybe prohibited my enjoyment of this film? What should I have, as a resident Zatōichi scholar? School us all, please.
I would actually want to hear from you guys first on your opinion. I want to hear what your opinion of this character is first.
Okay.
So for a reason. But I would actually argue this is not your first exposure to Zatōichi, because he is arguably one of the most popular characters of all time. Because every single piece
it's
of
a
media,
commonly recurring trope. Yeah,
right? Because every piece of media that he have consumed has had that trope in it at some point as a throwback, and he is the original of that trope. Like that character.
Also,
is with his
Daredevil.
movies. Daredevil, yeah.
Like, there's no way Daredevil wasn't in some way inspired by that. It's kind of the same thing.
No, his master is straight up Zatōichi.
Oh, Stick.
That's true.
Stick.
Stick is.
Oh yeah, because he is. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense now that you say it.
Stick.
Yeah, no, that's an example right there of that. You see the character and everything. So probably not your first, technically, not your first exposure, but I guess your first exposure to the character proper.
To that specific, and again, I knew about the character, I knew about the trope. I could probably have recognized it in a few places, but this is my first Zatōichi movie. So and there have been, like we said, scads.
Yeah, I want to hear what you guys think of the character first. Like,
okay,
would you watch more movies with this character in it? What's your opinion on this character?
May I begin with just one question? Can I begin with just one question here? Is he really blind in the original ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm only 11 movies in.
I'm pretty sure. Fuck? Like that was such bullshit at the end where he's like, "Look, I'm not actually blind because I'm just."
But then at the very end, like, psych, I really actually am.
Is that what he was saying?
That's exactly what he trips over a rock and is like, "I'm still blind as a bat, even with my eyes open." Is basically what he was saying.
But he's not actually. He can see though, like his eyes work. I don't think he can.
I don't think he can.
Okay, actually, I am interested because if there's 26 of those motherfuckers, obviously they were doing something right. There's only one of these.
Yeah.
And it's been 22 years.
Yeah. Well,
and we are covering it on this podcast because of our format.
There's been 2 or 3 other reboots since then.
But there hasn't been a sequel to this movie, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Correct. There's a Takeshi Miike play that was filmed. Miike, a guy that we've covered a couple times on this podcast.
Very prolific.
And then there was another one called Zatōichi the Last. And then I think there's a female Zatōichi called Ichi.
I've heard good things about that from Zatōichi fans, but I've not seen it.
Right. And her master is Zatōichi, but she is kind of following in his footsteps, so to speak.
So she's Daredevil in that one.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah. I heard it's good, but that's from Zatōichi fans, but Zatōichi fans also like this movie for some reason.
Dude, everybody likes this movie. IMDb, 10 out of 10. The whole every review, 10 out of 10. And I'm like, did we watch the same movie? Did we watch the same cut of the same movie?
I was so bothered. I went into the deep forums looking for like subforums for people to like decide, but no, it's all just like, oh yeah, it's a good movie, underrated, really good. Yeah. I'm like, there's no dissenters here? Yeah.
We're doing it. We're the 3.
We're the voices of dissent.
We did it. We did it, you guys. We're the weird ones.
Here, okay, so in the interest of full disclosure, I was high when I watched this movie, which may affect my rating.
Fantastic.
Of this movie. I went to my local dispensary and I got a infused latte, and I had a great afternoon. And I was just coming down as we were starting recording, but
I'm sorry that the movie ruined your latte. Honestly, if I could go back in time to save your day, I would like show up in a portal and give you movie number 6 in the original series to watch.
I wouldn't have had a damn thing to talk about on this podcast, but
I don't care. At least you be the guy that saw the good one.
I was telling Tucker before we started, like I was, I had a really great afternoon. I put this on. I watched it. I had the hardest time following this movie.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if it was because of the editing or the fact that I was stoned. But I had the toughest time following this movie.
I had questions about the plot to ask you. Because I don't know.
Well, look, it's because this movie it's about 4 or 5 different plots, none of which involve our main character.
No.
Inherently.
He's just kind of there.
I mean, he's there. He passes in and out of them sometimes. Yes, fantastic, whatever. But none of them go anywhere. Like the best that they wrap anything up is he kills the bodyguard's wife kills herself. I'm like, I guess that's the ending to their story. Well, they got screwed.
What the hell was their story? Okay, no, we'll come back to that.
She was sick.
Did she know he's
an
gonna die?
idiot.
Yeah.
Well, they're both fucking idiots. I don't know.
Okay, that's actually
or something.
So I'm gonna give you a little thing. Every single character that wasn't Zatōichi in this movie was amazing. It would belong in a classic Zatōichi movie.
Okay.
But, like that Ronin, like that character right there, that's something that there's actually characters like that in the original series. Because this also takes place during the time right before the Meiji the Meiji Restoration. So samurai are almost all illegal at this point too. So they're all bandits and wandering Ronin.
And this,
did they have handguns at that point in history?
Yes. Yeah, because the isolation's starting to break down, so you're getting more influx of guns were illegal. That was a very illegal thing.
Okay, because I saw the good dude pull out the gun, and I was like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, they would have.
When are we?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if we can,
1840s, 50s. Sorry.
If we can step back momentarily to what we were talking about, see, I lost it. I knew it, man. Fuck. I was like, remember. Okay, here's my chance.
Sorry.
You held it too tight.
No, what I was going to say is this does really give like Fugitive vibes where like if this were a series, it would just be him going to different places, interacting with different people and saving them. It's like the Fugitive series or something like X-Files or Supernatural, like that kind of show where somebody goes around and just helps
That's
people.
what the series is. He's because these aren't samurai movies.
I'm way into that.
Samurai movies. These are Yakuza gangster movies. And he wanders from town to town, helping townsfolk and the downtrodden and the injustice. He is a malevolent force of good. Like the original character.
He's the A-team.
I would say
he's the A-team.
Yeah.
He is the A-team?
Yeah, he is the one-man A-team. Dun, dun, dun. If you need help, if you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find him, maybe you can hire Zatōichi.
Well, that's the thing is that's what I'm saying. In these kinds of setups, like I say with like the Fugitive and Supernatural stuff like that, you don't hire someone, you don't seek them out, they come to you. Yeah. Like in the instance of what I'm assuming how Zatōichi is in the original films and how the Fugitive is, this motherfucker's just wandering around. In the Fugitive, he's a fugitive, so he's obviously going from place to place. He finds the trouble. He finds the trouble.
I want to point out that actually is another example of knowing Zatōichi in culture. The Fugitive is a remake of Zatōichi.
Okay,
that series, the Fugitive, that follows. That's because Zatōichi is a fugitive in the thing. He has killed so many Yakuza in the first couple of movies. He fucked up the underworld. He is actually fugitive, so he's constantly on the run, but he ends up in town to town. He doesn't like violence. He tries not to fight, and he tries to resolve everything peacefully. And he actually resolves a lot of stuff without his sword. Like, he's super clever, very intelligent, very charming. He talks a lot. Like, the movies are about this character. This is a lovable, fun character that gets dark real fast because he's got severe PTSD and a hatred for, like, underworld crime. But in the movies, all the characters...
it sounds very nuanced. Like, it sounds just like a very nuanced kind of thing.
It is. It really is. Yeah, the movies are actually... And it helps that 26 movies is the same actor in all 26 of the movies. And there's only 6 or 7...
He directs some of them, too,
He directs some of them, too. And there's only 6 or 7 directors that rotate in and out. So you have a pretty cohesive, like, vision. They turn
You've
out...
got a crew, yeah.
Yeah, they turn out a couple of these a year.
Nice.
So, in the quality... The production quality varies drastically from movie to movie. But yeah, that's what he is. He's a lovable, like, really very intelligent, like mind games level intelligent. Like, a lot of the best scenes in the original movies are all these mind games because he's a gambler and he loves gambling. And each movie they have to come up with a creative way of whatever that dice game is, of seeking it out, of like finding the catch to it.
Yeah. It was very weird because that kind of gave me like James Bond vibes, like how James Bond's always got to find like a Baccarat game in the books or in the new movies a Texas Hold'em game for some reason. Like, and
he does that, and that's the Zatōichi. I would compare Zatōichi to James Bond without all the gadgets and stuff, but he's very much and I love it because he always somehow like the women always love him, but he can never be with a woman because he's a fugitive, so he's always got to run because violence follows him around everywhere he goes.
And that even Zatōichi, which came first, Zatōichi or Young Wolf and Cub? Because that's kind of a similar like.
So, fun fact: those actors are brothers. and they appear in each
that's
other's
funny.
movies. Yes, that's
hilarious.
The Shogun Assassin Lone Wolf and Cub guy. He actually plays his brother in the Zatōichi series.
Oh, okay, that's really funny. And does his brother have a kid? Because that would be even funnier.
No, he doesn't. But Zatōichi number 8, which I just ranked as my favorite one, he does have a kid. Zatōichi has a kid, and he has to get that kid to his father. And there's this thief that follows him around, and that's my favorite one. It's so damn good. It's so damn good. That's number 8.
I know Zatōichi, the character is probably in the public domain, but like if Lone Wolf and Cub is
at
too,
this point, at least in the United States, I'm sure.
Yeah.
At this point, hopefully they won't make a cheap, shitty horror parody of it.
Yeah. But fingers crossed, no one listens to this and realizes Zatōichi is in the public domain.
Does that bother?
Is that?
I think so.
I'm saying it has to be.
When I ask Google, here, let me ask without the AI results.
Yes, please.
I think it's anything published before 2019-29, so it depends on when the original novels were posted. So I think the
1948. There was an original novel.
Oh,
it's a short story. The Zatōichi starts with these movies.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say
there's a short story it's lifted from that came out in 1948, but there's no books or comics or anything that predate this. This is actually purely original. Yeah,
it sounds kind of like how Dog Day Afternoon is like, it was a newspaper article that was 2 paragraphs and they made a 2-hour movie of it. And so like a short story that they've just expanded on so much that it just has taken on a completely different life.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it is, maybe I don't know. If it is, I want to see more stories with Zatōichi. Otherwise, just keep using the trope and renaming it. Like another future episode of this podcast, Blind Fury is another Zatōichi movie
with Rutger Hauer.
Yeah.
I
love that guy.
Yeah,
we should put it on the list, Sammy. You're coming back for it. We're all going to experience it for the first time.
I love Rutger Hauer too.
Right.
Me too. The greatest speech in cinematic history.
Tears in Rain. Time to die.
Like what's even comparable to that? The speech from Independence Day.
No.
We will not go quietly into the night, Sammy.
We will not go on without a fight.
Look, I still can't get through that.
We're going to survive.
At
Today,
least one.
We celebrate our Independence Day.
At least one year. I can't do it. Like, I know it's corny, but Bill Pullman just really fucking sells that, dude. He sells it so hard. Like, just think about it, I almost kind of tear up a little bit. Like,
no, he does.
Maybe it is fate that this is the 4th of July, you guys. Maybe it is fate. I'm getting misty. We gotta move on.
Okay, so the general consensus, which is what my consensus or my opinion of the movie too was, this movie doesn't have any kind of characteristics of Zatōichi except that he's blind and has a sword.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, because at no point am I even really zeroed in on what he's doing in town. Other than like gambling.
Right. That's the thing.
Why is this old man here?
I think what they were going for, what it seems like, is like this is a remake, but you're familiar with how this goes, so we're just gonna drop him somewhere.
Right.
But for people who aren't familiar with how that fucking goes, like, you're just like, okay.
And that's why I argue
nobody knows this guy seems like he just got here. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's time frame here. Give me some context. A little bit of exposition wouldn't hurt you, would it?
Right. And that's why I'm pissed off about it, because they didn't set the character up at all. Also, in 11 movies, no movie has ever opened with him killing people with a sword. They portray his sword skills in the most imaginable possible ways. They like that save the cat moment. They go about it to show off positive features of him without having to kill people.
So you're saying this is someone who waits till the absolute last moment to use violence.
Yes.
Like David Carradine.
And I like that. In Kung Fu. Yeah, dude. Kung Fu like a motherfucker. I'm already into all these other Zatōichis. This one can suck a fuck, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I in the computer animation. Well, the difference is that the original actor had sword skills, and I'm guessing that Takashi Kitano does not have sword skills because they
From
animated
what I've read
everything.
of, right, everything is animated and off
Oh my
very
God.
poorly animated.
Yes,
That's
We'll
CGI
get back to the
shit.
computer shit here in a second because
Mm.
we will circle back and be very angry about this momentarily.
I prefer the CGI in Deep Rising to this, and I like Deep Rising.
Future episode of this podcast, Deep Rising.
I love that movie.
Good. You're gonna have a fun time when we cover it.
I can't wait. Let's do it.
I
Bump
feel
it
like
up.
talking about better movies when we're talking about this movie that you hate is really probably going to be the best way to get you through this movie.
No, I want to focus on the other Zatōichis because, like, the whole time I was watching this shit sandwich, I was like, I'll bet the thing this is based on is fucking cool, though.
It is.
Like, the whole time I was like, this sucks, but I could see, like, where they took things from something that was very rad.
Yes,
And
there are
just
so
fucked them
many
up real
there's
bad.
so many like Zatoichi moments in this movie that are just so underplayed. Like the gambling scenes of Zatoichi are always the best scenes of the movies. Yeah, you
I
don't
don't
have
feel
any
like they were
reason.
the best scenes in this movie.
They were very boring.
They were very boring and mid. And then hang on, I
Is
missed something. Did he slaughter an entire gambling house at some point? What led to that?
yes,
What led to that? I missed that.
they
I
switched
don't.
the dice out. They switched the dice out, and they
Oh
were
yeah,
going to
they
cheat
tried to fool him, and also
Yeah.
the gals were there. Were the
for
geisha
some reason.
gals there
Yeah,
as
the geisha
well?
girls
Because
were
they were
there.
helping him out. They were part of that. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I don't know why.
No, they were with the
I really
boss.
wish.
No, they came later. They came later. They came after.
I really
Yeah.
wish that this movie had been better written because I inherently like their story.
Yeah.
Except I don't need to see a child almost getting sexually abused. That's a little too much for me. They could
Yeah,
have
the flashbacks.
just like
we
implied
got it.
that.
Yeah.
I mean,
They could have implied
it's
that. I did
that
not need to
early
see that.
2000s like gritty shit, like shock value for shock value's sake kind of bullshit.
No, dude.
That
Not-
they were doing
you know,
in the early
So I
aughts.
think
Is
this
one
is
thing. When you involve kids, that's when I start to be like,
so.
no thanks.
This is where you're off base here, Steven. So here we need to get into something. The director, the
Okay.
very very famous Takashi Kitano. So when I sat down
Right.
to watch this, I thought I was watching Takashi Miike's. I thought Takashi
Right.
Miike made this. And I thought,
That's a different guy.
yeah, different guy. But
That's
Takashi
very different
Kitano,
guy.
I love.
There are a few
Takashi.
different consonants there. Yeah.
I love Takashi Kitano so much. Like he's honestly one of my
Really?
favorite Japanese filmmakers. That guy, in
Okay.
like if anyone could have done this character justice, it was going to be Takashi Kitano because he makes heart attacks, dead serious yakuza films that have like the
Mhm.
Studio Ghibli film feel, where they kind of meander on the mundane and the quirky.
Mm.
But he's used to be a comedian, so he was going to be the best.
I was
Zatoichi.
gonna say.
So he was, and the thing is, Zatoichi is funny. Zatoichi makes jokes and he's very sarcastic.
Okay.
So I thought, oh my
Sammy,
gosh, this is going to be the best thing
there's a-
ever. And then I found out that apparently he didn't want to do this. He got peer pressured into doing it. So I feel like this whole movie's a middle finger to the franchise.
Maybe so. Because
So
it felt like it was funny in like really dark, weird, and inappropriate ways that I didn't care
Yes.
for.
Well,
It didn't work. There was comedy there. It didn't work. Like the
Right.
dancing stuff, like I know that was meant to be a little silly, but it was so out of place. And something I appreciated early on, something that alluded to that, the dancing and the music at the end, was when the four workers were in the field and they were using their hose and it was going to the beat of the music. I was like, oh, that's kind of
Exactly.
cool.
That
Because it
kinda
was
fun.
subtle.
Yeah.
It was subtle. It was like a background thing
that's-
that, like, you're watching this one thing and you're like, oh, that kind of goes with the beat, but you're watching this other thing happen.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
But
He's
then, I mean, 5 minutes later, I was like, no, this fucking sucks.
yeah, and I hate it because, like, in the movies, the original movies, that kind of comedy that you saw in there, that would have worked. I could see the original Zatoichi doing those jokes, and it would have worked in those movies. But it didn't set up. It came out of nowhere, but it was like sarcastic, and people apparently like that. That's a lot of commentary that for the people that like it. Like, yeah, it's like a weird sarcastic, like visually, like viscerally dark, and then light, like drastic.
So random.
The stuff with like the guy joining him in the gambling hall that just becomes like his sidekick for some reason in the movie.
That's a Zatoichi
Well,
thing.
That
it
is
happens to be the nephew of the gal he's staying with.
okay.
And now, do you think that he went to the gambling to get close to that nephew? No, because he was going before she told him about him, though. I was going to say, like, maybe he went to kind of try to help him out, but he was
Some
going to
kind of
get...
exposition would have been nice, but
Some kind of exposition would have been nice.
there are scenes in this movie where the editing was so jarring. I feel like I was dropped in the middle of a scene without any kind of establishing information.
Yeah, you're like 2 minutes into it. Like, they cut the first, like, 2 minutes of the scene and they drop you in the middle of it, is what it feels like.
One of the first times the girls are doing their trade-off thing where they, like, kill people, and I feel like one of them's taking another around the side, and I'm just like, wait a second, what's happening here? Like, why are we just dropping it? We're doing something completely different in the previous scene, and it feels like I'm dropping in here in the middle of a line and watching you guys go off. Like, it was just really, and again, I was high, so it could have been that.
No,
or it could have been that this movie was badly edited.
It was a very confusing and badly edited and meandering movie, which sucks. So it's so Takashi Kitano, like what is the Sonatine is the movie that blew me away that he made. What it is, and I thought I was sitting down for a dark, gritty Yakuza movie, like underworld shit. What you get is a bunch of Yakuza guys who are go into hiding on a beach and just are depressed and have an existential crisis. And it meanders.
Depressed gangsters on a beach. I love it.
Yeah, and it's great. And it works so well for that. And it kind of meanders, and it's got these quirky, humane moments that are kind of rhythmic. And there's a lot of that in this movie, and this does not work for this movie, even though the Zatōichi movies can meander. But it's fine to meander if the character you're watching is interesting. And Zatōichi, the character, was not interesting. And I loved the characters, all of the B characters. I didn't like how uninteresting the actors were in their actual portrayals. That was also a little dull. Yeah. Like every one of those characters is gold. Like the nephew, the hanger-on, he gets hanger-ons. You know, he's really good with money. So you get the little skeevy guys who like,
sure,
oh, I'm going to hang out with the guy with the money. So you get the hanger-on, hang out with the old lady, staying at her farm and helping her move stuff and work. The mentally handicapped guy I thought was going to pay off. So what I call those, if you read
there a way that can pay off?
Is there? Well, that's the funny thing is, one of these, in my review of the Zatōichi movies, there's a lot of, I call them Chekhovs than literally any other household item that's not a gun. Because it's something that's so weird and unique as a setup, and then it just never pays off. It's just there. Right. Like, I don't, like, yeah, like you.
Well, and that kind of, the fact that nothing came of that, I think was even more
damning, honestly.
I hesitate to say offensive, because the whole point of that character was to laugh at that character. At that character. Not with that character, at that developmentally disabled person.
That's actually where you're wrong.
And that's fucked up.
No, that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. That's where both the Zatōichi movies and Takashi Kitano would not do something like that in their movies. So what he was trying to do is the movies portray honestly a very dark and gritty reality. The world that they live in is not a pleasant world. It is a horrible, horrible world. And Zatōichi in his comedy is the only actual piece of light in that, and his ability to just kill everyone, all the bad guys. There are characters in some of the older movies that will have a happy ending, and then 2 movies later, they just are in they've been killed off for some reason. Like I'm into that, ending.
Sure.
So you weren't really playing that guy up for laughs because Kitano, his stuff. I mean, I think his humor where he would do stuff like that, but they were trying to, I think, more portray how oppressed they were, like how defunct everyone was in that village.
I see. Damn it, Sammy! I can't believe you've done this. I was highly offended.
Yeah,
highly offended.
I have the text thread to prove it.
Oh boy, I was mad.
I almost texted you, Sam, and let you know how hot Tucker was coming in, and I was like,
I'll tell you what. And I understand where you're coming from, Justin. If it turns out I'm wrong about this, I will buy a ticket to Japan and go punch him in the face, because I kind of want to punch him in the face for this movie anyways. The director. I will punch him in the face.
No. It's
no. I feel
no. Hear him out.
I just want to know. I know I defended him, and I am defending him, but this movie puts me in a weird way. I can turn the coin on him so fast, and I will. So if I'm wrong about that, I will personally.
But I
fight him.
I 100% see what you're saying though, and it kind of puts it in a different context.
Yeah.
that I did not consider before, and probably because I am so close to the issue, I was a little quick to get offended.
Understandable, yeah,
So-
that's the thing is, it's like I say, compared to the original movies, I genuinely enjoyed all of the side characters in this. I just don't think the editing was very good, and the actors weren't really given.
It didn't do him justice.
Yeah. Because
I also had a very old transfer too. Like my transfer was not good, so it made.
Where
the
did
whole
you rent
thing,
it from?
I rented it from YouTube.
Yeah, me too. Mine was fine.
Was it? Oh damn!
Did you buy standard def? Did you get the cheaper one, Steven? That's standard def.
I might have accidentally done.
You goofy
that,
bastard.
Yeah. Well, you know,
we still
mistakes have been made.
It do be like that sometimes.
And the Zencaster bill just came due yesterday, so it was kind of one of those, the cheaper option, the strain on my wallet, the cheaper option won out, I'm afraid.
I saw that.
I had to really quickly like shuffle some stuff around for that because I was not expecting that.
But it's April, the cruelest month. Not only do we have to watch all these shitty movies, but the Zencaster bill is due.
And I still got to do my taxes. So yeah.
Boy, that was like 4 days ago supposed to have that done.
It's the 15th.
Oh, I thought it was the first.
Couple days. He's got a couple weeks.
LOL, can I tell you guys something? And I hope that she's gone to bed so she doesn't hear this, but my roommate texted me on April 1st and she was like, no, she called me. And she was like, yo, did you hear Trump is renaming Lake Winnipesaukee? Because we live in New Hampshire, obviously. And I was like, dude, look at the date. Look at the date on the story. Look right there at the date on the story. She was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, yeah, don't look at any news today. It's April 1st. Just turn your phone completely off until April 2nd.
You texted something to the group thread on April 1st, and I was like, that's really cool if it's true. And then it was like, okay, there's been articles before this on this topic, so I think we're okay. Like, I Googled that shit for you, man.
And I appreciated it. Respect the day, but also hate the day.
Yeah.
April 1st. Look, pranks are lies, and lies aren't funny, you guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Pranks aren't funny.
Integrity's rad as shit, and, like, lies are not funny, dude.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. You know who else is with you on that? Zatōichi.
Zatōichi? Is it motherfucking Zatōichi?
The real one, not whatever this movie is doing?
Honestly, I say that, but his is nothing but lies and pranks. That's all he does. He lies the way to get food and help people. But
you
know, desperate times and all that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Life's a lot harder.
But yeah, right. One thing I did like about this movie is the cane sword was fucking rad as hell.
Yeah, the cane sword's cool. The coolest thing ever.
I also love the fight scene with the bodyguard at the end, where the bodyguard's like got it all figured out and knows exactly how it's gonna go, and then all he does is just rotate his staff like 10 degrees and he wins. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, the fuck with the bodyguard. Was he supposed to be a sympathetic character?
I think he was, yeah.
Only because he was so stupid. Like, look, this is an able-bodied man. Yes, his specialty is, the violence and all that shit. But this is a dude. This is a dude that is physically, he's athletic because he does the sword shit.
Yeah.
He could get a number of jobs. They may not be as lucrative as bodyguard, but your wife would probably hate you less.
Well, you gotta understand that Bushido is really stupid anyways. The Samurai Code, they're idiots. They're really stupid. And this Zatōichi movies. No, I will say it. Bushido is...
Okay.
No, that's why they fail. Like, that's actually, like, I'm a 5 rings guy myself. The 2 swords.
Oh,
fuck
Sure,
honor.
yeah.
You know. But it is. It's stupid. The Code of Honor.
Smiling
and they're not
politely.
good people. Yeah. And the samurai weren't good people,
No.
so he was being an idiot because he was so. But because he did mention, he said it's for his honor. He's got to restore his honor.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't tell when this one was taking place. I think traditionally in the movies they take place in like the 1840s, 50s. So I think the samurai are outlawed at that point. So you get a lot of Ronin like that. So I don't know if he had done something to cause him to be a Ronin. Or if that was
Ronin,
just
like the Robert De Niro movie, or
like the
Keanu Reeves movie.
Oh, okay.
There were 47 of them, I think, in that one.
Yeah, the Ronin. They're masterless samurai. They don't have no job.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell if he was dishonorably discharged or if that was just because it was illegal.
Like Hawkeye. You guys.
From the comic book movies.
Yeah, come on, man. That was good.
I haven't seen those.
Jeremy Renner ain't got shit on me. Look at that. I got one of my Marvel props here. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's nice. That's
fantastic, Steven. That's the orb from Guardians.
Everybody loves that.
So did he have... Okay, but going back to that Ronin, confused. Was he on revenge for something? Was he seeking revenge?
I think he was trying to pay for his wife's medical.
That was his only...
There was a brief line early about how she was sick and he was stupid. Early in the movie.
That's the depth of those two characters. She is sick and he is stupid.
Correct.
That's all we know about those characters.
So maybe. But there was like a thing where he went... A guy was was there like a flashback where a guy was beating him up with a stick?
I think
that was like the guy that was training him, right? But then that guy is there at some point.
I was gonna say, doesn't that guy come back? Yeah.
Man, I don't know, man.
I was so confused.
And he kills him like nothing. Yeah. Again, this movie is very hard to follow, and I could never tell if it was a flashback or a current timeline situation. I couldn't tell how the gambling scenes they would keep cutting back to those, and I was like, is this the same gambling scene? Have all these cutaways been like to things in the past, or is this a different gambling scene and some of this stuff has been happening in the present? I literally can't tell, but also I'm pretty high right now.
Yeah, I can't tell either, and I was at work, so I was not high.
I would hope not.
And I don't do that shit till the kids go to bed. So, I watched it before the kids went to bed. So I
ain't got no kids.
Sober sister.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you a couple if you want. Steve, you want a couple kids?
I do not. Thank you for the offer, though. I appreciate the offer.
I got a couple available.
I'm. You know what? I have 2 cats. That's all I can take right now.
Fair. That is fair.
It's a lot of cats.
Yeah, it is.
Many. That's more than 1 cat.
Yeah,
there's so many more than 1 cat.
Like it would necessitate a cat rack.
I have an office now where I can close the door so the cats don't dive bomb the screen like they did on the very first episode of the upcoming Wells U podcast.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear that. And I have access to it.
I was going to say, you have that audio, so by all means.
I could listen to it before anybody else in the world.
But you haven't.
Maybe I will. Look, like I was saying, after the kids go to bed, your boy gets crazy. So, like, I might be a thing that gets in my head one night. I'll be like, you know what? I'm just fucked up enough to listen to all these episodes of Steven's other podcasts just to do it before anybody else. Just do it before any of the other 25 listeners. Right. That will have it launch. It'll grow, Steven. It will.
Dozens.
It'll ebb and flow. We'll be up to like 60 some months and then down to 30 or like what happened. You don't know. Yeah. You try to be funnier, give some more structure. It doesn't work. Who knows?
Yeah. Add another co-host. That never works.
It never works.
I don't know.
It does for a while, but after it gets old. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you.
Fun fact about the cane sword. That in history, that cane sword is actually very weak compared to a katana. So you wouldn't actually use it to fight against people with katana. Which is why
it's made of like aluminum, right?
Yeah,
it's like aluminium, as they say.
It's steel, but it's not their like Japanese don't make good steel, so they have to do a folded steel style, which is why the katanas are so good because it's technically low quality steel that they perfected to be effective. So
it's just very like ridiculously sharpened, right?
They made lemonade. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, exactly. But those the blade that he uses, the little tiny sword cane sword, is not folded steel. It's not folded steel, so it's a low quality steel. And in the 4th movie, it actually breaks during one of the fights. Someone hits it, and it just snaps and goes flying off.
And he still manages to beat all their asses.
Yeah. Oh man, guys, the old movies are so good. You should watch them.
You guys, am I gonna watch all those movies in like the span of a month? Is that about to happen?
You straight up might.
Like it's like a TV series. I'll give it 3. After the third one, if I'm not on board, I'll quit. But
No. Here's the deal. If you're gonna watch the first one, you have to watch the first 4 because there's an overarching theme to them.
Oh, it's like a quadrilogy, as they say in the business.
It's like a trilogy,
a narrative arc
with a 4th movie,
with an epilogue, kind of an epilogue, maybe
with a thematic finale. An epilogue. Yeah,
fantastic. Love
the
that.
5th movie is mid. It's fine, but the 6th movie is like one of the fucking coolest samurai movies I've ever seen in my life.
It's like the Fast and Furious franchise. If you can get to number 5, it's smooth sailing the rest of the way.
You have to get past
Zatōichi at 6.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you don't have to actually. That's the thing. If you start with the first one, you have to do the first 4. Other than that, you don't actually have to start with the first movies. You could pick these up where you want.
Well, yeah, and see that's why like The Fugitive was so cool, because even before I started watching it, like it's just on TV. Like back in the day, you couldn't just dial up TV. You had to be there at a time and a place. Right. So they had to make these shows to where
streaming.
Yes, there was an overarching story, but every episode has to work on its own.
Right.
Yeah.
Like every episode has to potentially be someone's first episode. So if that's how those films are, like jumping in and out of it. And
it's like not really. Yeah, you understand the fact that he's a blind masseur who does sword stuff, and that he's always on the run. And that's all you got to know.
Does masseur have 2 meanings in Japan like it does in America?
Is he giving happy endings?
Because there's the scene after they cut, like after she's like, "Don't get any ideas, I'm not giving any," and he laughs. We cut to this overhead shot, and it's going down, and he's like, it looks like he's thrusting, and he says something like, "Is this too hard?" And she's like, "No, it's fine."
No, he's giving her a
massage.
And
then you zoom in, and he's like actually giving her a massage. But the implication leading up to that is that he's boning her.
Like there's an earnestness to that scene, but I feel like they're kind of like just kind of dangling a little bit in front of your face. They're like, "Oh, no. It's almost like they purposefully...
You're the one with the dirty mind, pervert."
Yes. And as much as I applaud that, I'm also offended.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a comedy thing. That was a pretty stock standard comedy thing in the 80s.
Yes. And like that can be a funny joke, but the comedy that's in this movie, it's never consistent with the tone of the rest of the film.
Right.
There's some silly fucking bits in this movie, but they just appear out of thin air.
Right.
And don't fit the tone of the rest of the film at all.
It works in the originals because it keeps it grounded in humanity. And the movies that's the highlight of them, is they are very humane movies. They're really about the plight of the downtrodden people. And they try to flood it with characters that you are like, every like site, you don't want to see the villagers get killed. You like the villagers. You love the villagers. And they even give a lot of the Yakuza guys and the Ronin and all the bandits like fleshed out backstories and like emotional attachments and stuff. 9 times out of 10, though,
not
the
this
Yakuza
one.
Boss. Yeah.
The twist at the end, I saw coming
the betrayal.
A mile off. No, the real that, but also the I'm the real mob boss the whole time. It's been me, the senile old man, the whole time. Like saw that one coming a mile.
Okay,
off.
so like I didn't care enough to see that coming. Like it happened.
I didn't feel like it was earned. That's the thing. Is like when it happened, I didn't give a fuck because I didn't feel like it was earned.
The only thing that made me realize it is the only time you see that guy is there's a shot from the back and his hair is very gray. And I'm like, there's only one character in this movie with hair that's very gray. So it's got to be Grams, and sure enough.
Yeah.
Well, no, it completely makes sense. But also, who fucking cares? At that point, who fucking cares? It's like a Return of the King all over again. You got 12 different endings. Once this movie starts ending, it can't stop ending.
And then we got a big Bollywood dance number with the clogs.
I loved the Bollywood dance number. That's my favorite part of the movie. I would just watch that.
I did too, but it makes the movie worse because, again, out of place. I had a fun time watching that, but it was just like, why am I watching this in this movie? Why?
Yeah.
Again,
it was fantastic, though. I did really like it.
Again, that would have worked better in one of the old movies.
In those wooden shoes and everything, like respect.
Yeah, respect. That was dope. I really like that. People criticize him for having a modern soundtrack. I actually really like the soundtrack and sound design of this movie. I would say it's something.
I did not like the score.
You did not? Okay.
I did not like the score, and I also did not like the sound design. Everything was...
Well, outside of the fight sequences, that was really bad.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That would be fair. But I was going to say the fight sequences, really who was doing the Foley on this? Like, have they ever heard anything ever?
Probably the same people doing the blood spatter. Like,
oh god!
At no point does anything. There was a scene where a sword was thrown into someone's back and the person falls over, and it is obvious that sword is painted in like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Dude, there's several instances.
There are
of that.
several. There's one where the Ronin stabs a guy and the blade isn't actually attached to the hilt. It like moves away from the hilt and back to the hilt.
Mm-hmm.
So the blood splatter, apparently
embarrassing.
The director requested that specifically to be like an artistic contrast to the darkness. They're supposed to look like flowers.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
that's what he said after people fucking hated it. Yeah. Yes. He's like, no, man, no, I did it because, like, that was on purpose.
It was like Paul Verhoeven levels of unrealistic blood spatter, but at least Paul Verhoeven has the good sense to use an honest-to-God physical squib in a guy's chest.
Yes.
This one was hard to watch at work because all the violence. There's a lot more violence.
Yeah, no, it's just hard to watch in general.
Yeah. Well, the first 11 aren't really that bloody. They don't have a whole lot of blood spray or anything like that. So I turned that on and all of a sudden blood's spraying.
Look, I
badly animated in, yes.
Yeah.
Like that extreme kind of gore like that is an added bonus to pretty much any movie. Like if your movie's good enough, you don't really need that. But it's not like Dawn of the Dead, the original 1978 Dawn of the Dead. It doesn't need all that ultra violence, but boy, it's like the dessert after a good meal.
There you go.
You know, and you kind of have to earn that.
Yeah,
I feel like for this level of not only but it sucks though. So my point is completely not valid. Never mind.
Invalid.
Dessert.
I mean, yeah, in this movie, it's poorly done. It really is just very badly done. It's like if you're looking forward to dessert and then you realize it's Rachel from Friends and she made that awful trifle she made for that one Thanksgiving episode with the lady fingers and the jam and the
I will take your
cream,
word for that, Steve.
And then beef sauteed with peas and onions.
Steven, did you learn the theme to 227?
Not yet, no.
Oh, well, I mean, we mean not yet. Like, there's no reason to after this episode. It's episode 227.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry.
No,
I'll learn it. I'm familiar with the show. I just don't know the theme song.
It's so good.
You stumped the chump. Congratulations.
I did the thing. I wasn't even trying to. I just wanted to hear you sing it, Steven. It just came out of my need to hear you sing the 227 song. I wasn't trying to fuck with you or anything.
I didn't say you were.
Like,
no, it's just I'm not infallible. There are obviously gaps in my knowledge, so there we found one. Yeah. Congratulations.
Look, I'm not someone who revels in outsmarting a friend.
Are you sure about that?
No, I'm telling you right now that I'm not. So,
well, you've done it just the same. So congratulations.
That's why I said it, because I didn't mean to, and I apologize.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good, man. That's a show I've been watching a lot of this week.
I love
word. Better Call Saul's.
Better Call Saul. Oh yeah,
I like it.
I'm having a good time with that. A lot of people have said that. My partner thinks that is an insane opinion, but you know.
Well, they're not really comparable. They're not really comparable, but I just enjoy it.
It's a matter of preference.
Yeah, I just prefer it more. It's like my favorite lawyer show. Like, it's so realistic. Like, that's what I want to see.
It's so much fun.
And there's an entire season.
I watched.
There's an entire season with Carol Burnett, and I don't laugh one time. It's like, that's amazing.
I haven't gotten to that season yet.
Well, I mean, it's not a spoiler that she's in it, but she's in it. There's something to look forward to.
You guys, I watched the first 3 episodes of Better Call Saul, and I was bored, and I never revisited it. But now you guys are kind of making me want to go back. Carol Burnett, a whole season?
It's the last one, but yeah.
Is Vicki Lawrence there too? Is it a Mama's Family crossover?
Here is the thing.
Because I'd be way into that.
Vince Gilligan knows how to use comedic actors in dramatic performances better than anyone else. It seems like,
and who better than Carol Burnett?
I mean,
Brilliant. I'm in.
You get him using Bryan Cranston, Bob Odenkirk, Michael McKean, and Carol Burnett in serious roles. Like, it is phenomenal. And another show that did that really well was that Glenn Close show, Damages, because they had like John Goodman and Martin Short on that show.
I like all
John
those
Goodman's
people.
so good.
John Goodman's amazing.
So wait,
season 3 of or season 4 of Righteous Gemstones. Anyone? Just me?
I haven't seen it
yeah,
yet.
no, I'm there. I'm there with you.
I don't get time to watch fun shows.
The last
talking
episode
about, though?
might have been my favorite episode of the series so far.
Hell yeah.
So I'm watching Better Call Saul, and what's the other one?
Damages?
It was another thing. No.
The Glenn Close show, Damages, with Martin Short and John Goodman?
Breaking Bad?
That's fine. No,
all
I
the
already saw
Zatōichi
that.
movies?
Yes, there you go. Better Call Saul and all the Zatōichi movies.
The thing we're literally here talking about tonight?
Yes, but like the good version of it.
Right.
Yeah, so the
From
thing
what I hear, that's what I've heard.
If you're gonna watch all of them, you should approach it like you're watching a Netflix series, where the episodes are like an hour and a half long, because that's how it should be watched. It's like a TV series.
But boy, I don't binge though. Should I do one? Should this be like? This would take me almost a year.
Like breaking up the movies.
It would be the third. If I started in January and watched a movie a week, which is how I would do a series like that.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like what, September before I was done?
Yeah, with the TV shows and everything. Yeah,
I might be able to do 2 a week.
When you get to 6, you find yourself actually looking forward to the next one, and that's what's keeping me going. I'm on 11. Yeah, yes. They're varying levels of quality, but I wouldn't call any of them a bad movie. I have thoroughly enjoyed the first 11 of the original series. And
you're doing the Zatōichi crossovers as well, where it like crosses over with Yojimbo and Django.
Those are all Zatōichi movies. Okay. They're not crossovers.
And the TV series? What about the TV? There was a TV series, right?
There is a TV series.
There's been a couple.
Again, that's what I've heard.
And it's the same actor and same director and the whole series as well. I found out today that they only some of the plots are lifted out of the movies. That's all original stories. So yeah, I'm going to probably watch the series and get my hands on it.
Okay.
Dude, that does sound rad. Again, very Fugitive-esque. Big Fugitive fan right here.
Yeah, if you watch it just like a Netflix series where they got the long ass episodes, and like from each movie's an episode. That's really good because they're making them so fast, like 2 or 3 a year in the beginning.
Damn,
and like that's impressive. But they're also but they're also very low budget movies. Like you watch it, I can see how they could do 2 or 3 of these in a year because they're all the earlier ones are all on stage. They're very much like soap operas, and that's what it really is. It's more of a soap opera, which is why it's got that stay.
Nice.
Yeah, they're cool. Got good cinematography.
Right on.
Oh, in number 7, that movie's so mid up until the end when he's in a castle and all the candles are lit and he's running around the castle putting out all the candles where all these guys are trying to chase him, and he makes it dark so they can't see.
Nice.
And he takes out. That was so cool. That was so cool.
I love that this episode has just basically become Sam describing scenes from better Zatōichi movies.
Yes, please. I'm into that.
Like I said, number 8, there's this kid. Like, oh man, number 8, it's so good. The ending is so the ending's obvious, but it's so disgusting. But it's so great. He's got a kid. He's like this lady who is a slave.
Oh, is this the one you were telling us about earlier, where he's got the kid and he has to fight the other dude?
Yeah, he was in a cab where they carry him around, and he saw a lady with a kid in distress, so he got out and let her take the cab because she couldn't walk anymore. But then some assassins after him thought he was in that and killed her. So he felt guilty and then has to take the baby to its dad. And there's this lady thief that's like a tag along, and she keeps showing up and she just follows him the whole time. Oh, it's so good. Oh, the ending's so good. And it's I don't know. I don't want to spoil it for you because it's really good. I liked it. And number 6.
What other Zatōichi movies have you enjoyed?
Let me pull up my reviews here.
No, because okay, so I just made you skip ahead in your list and watch this one. because
Well, no, that's fine. I
kind
feel like I have enough under my belt that I could get a good. I mean, 11 movies like that. I gotta have a good feel for the
there.
character.
I was gonna say maybe 12 through 26 are just so bad that that's why Zatōichi fans are like, yes, this one, because
No,
like you've watched the only good ones in the franchise, and then the best, like all the best are behind you, and now you just got like like the Exorcist movies. Like you watch the first one, you're like, great, the good one's out of the way. Now I got to watch all the other ones.
no, I don't think so because I don't think people liked Zatōichi versus Yojimbo, but there's a couple of them and later on that I've heard are a lot of people's favorites as well.
Zatōichi and the One-Armed Swordsman.
Yes, that one because that's a crossover with the Shaw Brothers, I guess. Which is funny because his brother from the Shogun Assassin series played a one-armed samurai in movie number 3, but his brother is actually in the franchise twice. He shows up in number 6 as the psychotic Ronin, and he's just freaking terrifying in it. He's great. And it's probably one of the coolest fight scenes. He's on a horse. He's got a bullwhip, fighting a blind guy. You can imagine how that goes down.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, that sounds great. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Love all of this. So yeah, a lot of and yeah, so this is a franchise that crosses over with a couple. Like we've got Yojimbo and the One-Armed Swordsman, like characters established in different films that Zatōichi just meets up with, like just regular Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice shit, but with samurai movies or Blind Ronin and stuff.
There was another crossover, but I can't remember what it was. Like those are the two obvious ones. There's another one.
Isn't there one that stars Toshiro Mifune? Isn't he in one of these?
I think that's Mitsu Yojimbo.
Okay.
Even though he's not playing the Kurosawa character, it's the whole thing's like it's a pun, I guess. His name's a pun in this as well. So it's like a huge riff. So it's like their way of being able to use that character without it being that character.
Okay. So it's they're legally distinct from, but really it's probably kind of this guy.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So I like that second, like the sequel to the Nosferatu remake, right?
Which
Nosferatu in Venice with Klaus Kinski.
Yeah.
No, that's
because like he wasn't even.
Dracula was in public domain by that point.
Yeah, it's a direct sequel.
No, I know, but like it's
from the same producers.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
The reason that he doesn't do the makeup is because he didn't want to.
Well, obviously, yes. He was too busy sexually assaulting people on the set.
Correct.
He didn't have time for that shit.
Or just regular assaulting them. Because he did both.
Yeah.
He didn't have time for makeup.
Klaus Kinski, man of many talents.
Yes.
Yeah, the only reason he wore the makeup for the Herzog versions because Herzog was the director.
I was going to say, because Herzog, say no more.
Right.
Like, fucking say no more.
And then why didn't you do the second movie? Because you didn't want to. We're going to tell him no. We're going to tell him, like, yeah, you're not Herzog.
Yeah.
Only Herzog can tell him to do something. Yeah.
Exactly. And then he'll still end up assaulting Herzog over it. So,
well, then Herzog takes your gun away and hangs it over his fireplace mantle.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Wild times.
Yeah.
I wish
wild times.
Boy, the 20th century, I'll tell you what a wild time that was, you guys.
The Wild fucking West. Speaking of which, Wild West, heavily influenced by the samurai films. Is there a like blind gunslinger type of character based on Zatōichi, or am I imagining things?
Yeah, there is there is. The idea of a blind gunslinger, but I guess a blind swordsman is somehow less funny.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I know.
Well, no, it makes more sense because, like, if you're shooting guns, like it's a projectile, so there's space between you. Like, I can imagine if your other senses are heightened because you're blind, how you would have an advantage if the combat was up close.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing.
So I would say a blind gunslinger would be a lot less grounded and practical than a blind swordsman.
At the same time, a blind gunsman could hear the direction of the sound and just shoot the bullet towards it without having to do fancy sword work.
Correct.
But on the other hand, the gun, like those senses he's using to hear, those are not quiet.
No.
Pressure comes off those things, so it's...
And they're really fast, too. Like, bullets be fast, Sammy. Bullets be fast.
Yeah,
That's true. That is a thing I've heard.
Like real fast.
Yeah, a little bit.
Apparently, there's a spaghetti western series called Blindman.
Man.
Like blind man, but like together, one word. Blindman.
Damn it, I don't want to be interested in that, but I think I kind of am. Damn it.
It's a spaghetti western series, Sam. So you'll probably love it.
Oh fuck!
Because I know Sam
Man.
only likes his westerns with covered in marinara sauce. So
Yes,
True.
and Parmesan
With the
cheese.
exception of Tombstone and The Quick and the Dead.
oh,
And The
I love
Unforgiven, obviously.
Which one was that?
I
You've
also
seen
love
The
The Quick and the
Unforgiven.
Dead. Yeah, we've all seen Unforgiven.
Yeah, I get confused with the other one that Clint Eastwood was in.
Other one?
All the other
Clint Eastwood
Man-
westerns. The other
Man
one.
with No Name trilogy.
Got it. Okay,
No.
just the one. There was just the one, right?
All of his American
Copy
westerns.
that, Sammy. Copy that.
No, I don't think I saw this one. I don't think I saw this one
Dude,
actually.
you gotta see it, dude. It's like straight up a deconstruction of the genre, and it's pretty fucking fantastic. I think Steven could agree.
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
Unforgiven is great. I prefer Gene Hackman in The Quick and the Dead, but he won his Oscar for Unforgiven. So, hey Tucker, look who the number 2 is in the cast of Blindman. Just look at the number 2 actor on the call sheet there.
IMDb.com. Blindman, 1971, directed by Fernando Baldi. Ringo
Starr is the second name on the call sheet for 1971's Blindman.
And first on the call sheet, someone named Tony Anthony. That's like being named Bob Robert or Dick Richard.
Yep. Correct. You're not even a little bit wrong. But
Tony
this
Anthony.
Guy...
He's like 2/3 of Tony.
He's the more upper crust version of Tony Anthony.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh God, we have fun here on the Disenfranchised podcast.
Someone on IMDb 30 years ago said that this is one of the most stylish and enjoyable spaghetti westerns I've ever seen.
Is this the Blindman? Is this Blindman?
Yeah.
Should I be watching this? It's on Tubi. It's on straight up Tubi.
You got Tony, and you got Ringo. I think you kind of have to.
You guys, cancel whatever is the next episode. We're all watching Blindman on Tubi. See you guys next week.
I was gonna say we actually have a spot open in June. We could squeeze Blindman in if we wanted to. I need to know if it was a franchise though. So I'm gonna look that up real quick while you guys continue to not talk about the 2003 Zatōichi film.
No, it goes straight to more like this on IMDb. So yeah, it's not a franchise. It's just the one movie.
Cult status over the years, mainly due to the involvement of Ringo Starr, a former member of the Beatles, in one of the roles.
What? He was a Beatle?
Something, yeah.
I remember is Tony Anthony. He's the same guy twice.
Oh, there you go. I don't know what to tell you. Films by Tony Anthony. That's the sub on Wikipedia. Yeah, it looks like we could probably squeeze Blindman in here.
Can we do a Tony Anthony month? Or no. We don't do a Tony Anthony month. We do a month where we do movies that star people who have first names for both their first name and their last name.
Bruce Willis.
Okay. Hey, there's one.
Yeah, that's a pretty famous one.
Nice.
We could finally cover Hudson Hawk.
Oh, yes. I love that movie. Spoilers.
We could do Andrew Dice Clay, Adventures of Ford Fairlane. Rennie Harlan's Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Do not like that guy, but I'd watch that movie.
Right? It's on our list. It's on the list, man.
Fuck it.
So, I mean, yeah, we've got...
First names month. First names month.
First names, last names month.
Yes. What a weird theme. I love it.
It's one of the weirder themes we've come up with yet. All of our themes months have been fairly straightforward. Like this one on films originally released in Japan.
Yeah.
And this one, I mean, again, it's a reboot. Like you've got a fairly well-known comedic actor at the helm and directing as well. Like this feels like a slam dunk for a franchise. But if what you say about Takeshi Kitano not wanting to be involved in it, then it's probably a good thing it never It never went further than
but
this
it
movie.
is sad because I was so excited. I almost wet myself.
I'm sorry.
I was punched in the stomach. I'm like, man, this movie sucks.
Yeah.
I wonder if they thought, but I couldn't tell if it's because like I was like maybe unconsciously I was comparing it to the original one too much. But like I was missing like the regular film
How can you
beats.
not? Like if you have that context, how can you not?
Well, I don't have that context, so I wasn't doing it. But
no, because like I can read a book and go see the movie adaptation. I can separate myself from the book and enjoy the movie for the movie because there's certain rules of filmmaking they still have to hit, and he didn't hit any of those.
You have to adapt, yeah,
right,
yeah, and like I mean, I was
so
trying to watch
even as an adaptation, not good.
Yeah, and like even though it's just like as a movie, like the structure was bad. There was no characterization. He didn't have a good save the cat place. I'm not trying to be so like corporate in Hollywood, but like that's kind of the thing is he didn't have very important beats that made it a very hard and confusing movie to follow.
And you would say that a normal Zatōichi movie would still be hitting those beats just the same.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah. Even if this is even detached from the character, this was just not a good movie by itself. If there was no other character, if the character did not exist as a purely original character, that might have actually given a little leeway and made it a little bit okay. Because obviously we have no context for the character of Zatōichi, but still, it's not a good movie because you guys walked away not even know who Zatōichi is, and I got that vibe too.
Yeah, I had no context.
Like I got that vibe too. Like
sucked.
The things you like to see about Zatōichi were not in that movie. This was not a Zatōichi movie,
right? Which makes perfect sense to me. Like it's like Batman Returns, which is one of my favorite Batman movies, but it's not a Batman movie because Batman's barely in that motherfucker. It is a Penguin movie with some Catwoman in it too. Yeah. Like that movie is it's not a Batman movie. As much as I love Michael Keaton as Batman, as much as I love Tim Burton going full Burton in that movie, it's not really a Batman movie in the way that every other one of those is fundamentally.
Right.
So, yeah. Like I get that. It's more focused on the Naruto kids more than anything, which I can't tell if that was respectful trans representation or not.
I feel like it was because I think at the end when the nephew was like, "Hey, and then you can just be a boy again," and Homeboy was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah.
And the nephew
up till
was
then,
like,
though, I was
cool
like,
too. Like when it did
feel
kind
fun of her. Like I couldn't tell.
No, that I mean everybody. I don't know. It didn't seem like it was a negative thing. And I was kind of surprised by that because of how I initially perceived the what I thought was ableist representation of the one dude.
Right.
So I was kind of surprised. I was like, yeah, that is actually kind of
I really liked the characters, all the side characters. Like I liked the nephew, like all those characters would have fit in well in the older movies. Like that plucky homie, like they're just people.
Yeah.
Just doing their thing. Yeah. And like he saw that and he was trying to figure out he asked about the makeup and then she told him it was all about the face, but then later on he's putting the makeup on himself, just trying to see what it was like. And he determined it's not his thing. And then that final scene
I was
where he
say
says,
it doesn't work for him really.
It doesn't.
No, it's that funny thing where he has to go running out of the house and all the kids are looking at him like, is this what you do in your spare time? Like, is this what you need to do to fall asleep? Like, it's that kind of weird, almost gay panic kind of stuff where I'm like, if we put even more of a button on this, it would be offensive. But we're like, coming right up to the line here. On this kind of thing.
It's 2003 and also Japan, so they're not a very forward thinking liberal country. So I'm not gonna go out here and shoot like, oh yeah, no, he's really sensitive about this kind of stuff, because there could be, maybe he is sensitive, but at the same time still using styles that are insensitive. They just haven't learned yet,
Right. Yeah.
Like sensitive for that time maybe doesn't hold up by today's standards. Which is okay.
Right, and I mean that's another thing I had to realize is that this movie was made 22 years ago, and so like in Japan, when I think of other stuff that was right, I mean even American filmmaking like just less than 10 years earlier had been doing like Ace Ventura and shit like that. So like there were much less sensitive portrayals over here. So
right. But no, I actually liked that portrayal, and I like this character. I just feel like we didn't need to go that much into the backstory, like you said.
Well, but again, that ended up being like the crux of the film was their story, and Zatōichi was there for some reason.
Right.
Like,
and
it was their
weird
story.
because all of the other subplots that were happening seemed like they had higher stakes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird that they kind of focused on that one. I realized that those two characters rounded out like the main character group.
Mm.
But still, it just seemed like there were other stories that had to do with all of those main characters that either didn't get a resolution or the resolution was just kind of hand waved.
A lot of hand
as much as I did enjoy the geisha storyline, like it just nobody else got the time that they needed to like develop.
Right. And like there wasn't any reason for him to help them. Like so far in the first 11 movies, he doesn't just do stuff like that. He doesn't just go and kill.
Right.
I don't know. He does, but normally he's more intertwined with the story. Like he is very intertwined with the story, which caused him to go and do that kind of stuff. Like he always follows into these weird circumstances. He just wanders around and gets stuck in things. It's through obligation and to morality. He ends up murdering a lot of people, but he didn't really have any reason to stay there or help them.
Right. None. No narrative reason whatsoever. Again, there's no reason given for why he's there. He's just there for some reason.
Yeah.
And I think the geishas honestly they have proven themselves up to this point incredibly capable of dispatching people all on their own. The only reason they end up needing him is because they kind of get ambushed by like 50 people.
And that's another problem, I think, is that they kind of make these characters out to be the characters that you should empathize with the most. Because even though they're doing bad things, it's because something bad happened to them. But it's implied, based on what they say, that they just rob and kill motherfuckers.
Yes, I got that.
Even motherfuckers that have anything to do with what happened to them, they'll just find a dude and fucking kill him and rob him. They were about to do that to our homeboys.
Yep. No, they seriously. Yes,
that's what was about to happen.
I caught that too. They did that to someone else later in the movie. They actually did it to someone else later in the movie. They looked at someone. They said him next. Like, they just do this.
Taking lives, man. Just offing people. That's cool. Who are
the
just,
funny thing is, there's a lot of the older movies where Zatōichi ends up helping like really morally nebulous people like that, just by circumstance, and he doesn't feel good about it. Like the people he helps aren't always the total good, are always the good guys. Sometimes, and he never helps the bad guys, but they're not always super great people. The bad guy's always going to be Yakuza and government. Sometimes.
Yeah. True.
Like on the A-Team.
Nope. I guess, Steven. I'll give you that one, I guess.
Gangsters in the government. Go A-Team.
Yes, dude. Yeah. I guess.
But
still, you have to call the A-Team, though. Like,
yeah.
Zatōichi just stumbles upon this shit like Mr. Magoo.
Yeah, and people try to hire him. I mean, people try to hire him because he's really good. So you're like, oh, you're good with the sword. Come hang out with my gang. But Zatōichi's not about that gang lifestyle anymore. He's retired.
Nah, dude.
He did it for like 3 years and was like, nah, this is awful.
Not for me, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
But now he's so tied into it because he pissed so many people off. He just can't. He's forever on the run.
Well, there you go.
He'll never get out of it.
Never can, never will.
How could you? Why would you?
How could you? Why would you?
He wants to.
What else we got to say? I'm ready to land the plane. What else we got to say about 2003 Zatōichi, or just how cool the original character is divorced from this movie?
Ooh, I knew I should have written notes because I know there are things that stood out to me that I wanted to discuss because wanted to discuss because they disgusted me so much.
I was gonna say you came in with like your knives out for this movie.
Oh, the slow motion. So look,
the slow mo. Yes, you hated that.
There was only one little tiny part where it happened, and in a better movie it would have been forgivable. But don't do post production slow mo. That shit is choppy as fuck. If you're gonna do slow mo, you need to think about that shit before you shoot it, and shoot it at a higher frame rate so that shit looks good. Don't ever do that. Even if it's a good movie, I'm like, this movie's still good, but why would you do that?
Well, this is before.
And to put that in your bad movie,
this is before 300 came out.
Oh, there was still high frame rate slow motion before that. If you wanted something to look good in slow motion, motherfuckers knew how to do it.
Oh yeah,
I'll do it. I'm not right now, but this is a challenge I have accepted, Sammy.
Good, because I'm curious. Right, this isn't me just being a dick. I'm actually like, I wonder what the history of slow motion is now.
All right. I will have a report on your desk on Monday morning, Sammy.
Well, whatever the next episode is.
Yes. High frame rate slow motion. I'll know what that means in the morning. Yeah, there we go.
And I mean, thankfully, since this movie comes out this coming Thursday, there's actually a Monday in between, so he's got a little time. He's got over a week if he really wants to get a good report.
There may be an addendum. Who knows? Yeah. I'm not above it.
So, this ninja. There were ninja in this movie. Did you guys catch that?
A couple. Yeah, that one weird scene.
Well, no. Apparently, the entire gang was a ninja clan. That's it.
But they were only dressed as ninjas that one time, and the rest of the time they were dopey as fuck. Like, didn't even know how to use a sword.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know. Also, fun fact: that's not how ninjas dressed. Do you know that?
Well, that's how they dress in the movies, though.
It is because
I think that's
that's actually traditional theater garb. And it just and so in the old days, stories they you dress like that. The guys they put the mask on and everything because they move the sets around. But then when ninja became popular in the stories, they had to do how are you supposed to hide people on stage and do surprise and sneak attacks? So they dress like that because it's just a stagehand. Plot twist: it's the assassin. Important to the story, and that just kind of carried over into culture. So now our ninjas are dressed in the black garb like that.
What a fun bit of trivia.
Right?
I will always remember it. If that were I could make that into a physical object, I'd put that on my whatnot shelf, Sammy.
Yeah. Could you put the more you know theme music right in here, Tucker?
No, absolutely not.
Wow, I tried.
No.
Yeah, nope. You'd be taken down so fast.
I am used to it, honestly. Yeah. I'm used to coming to the table with, "Hey guys, got this idea. It's going to be great," and everyone's like, "No."
Everybody's like, "Fuck you, Steven.
Fuck you, Steven.
Get out of here, man.
What do you mean you're taking a week off? Disallowed.
No, denied.
Don't care if you're moving. No.
Vacation denied."
Oh, I'm going to give my ranking of the Zatōichi movies I've seen so far real fast.
Yes,
please do.
Okay,
yes.
So 8, which is Fight Zatōichi Fight. 6, which is Zatōichi and the Chest of Gold. 9, Adventures of Zatōichi. 4, 11, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 10, and then Zatōichi 2003 really far down there.
Wow. Bottom of your list. I can't say I'm terribly surprised, honestly.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll stay down there. I can't imagine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who's 14, to say?
15 more movies to go.
We never know. We never really know. Now, Sam, do you own the Criterion Collection box set of the first 25 movies?
No, I had it downloaded from 20 years ago.
Oh, right.
So I found that guy on Daily Motion. That's why I watched some of them on there. I had to watch my downloads on my Plex server.
There you go. Yeah, Plex servers. Remember when we all used to share Plex servers? That was a fun time.
I still have Caleb's Plex server, but my internet's so bad.
I've been kicked off of that thing a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, that's all I had to say about this uncool movie.
All right. Well, in that case, it was its American release was July 23rd, 2004. It earned domestically here in America $853,000. Another $30 million in the worldwide box office for a total worldwide box office of $30.9 million in the long run.
That's actually not bad. I mean, it's not good, but I
not if you want a sequel.
No, I expect in the U.S. box office, I expect this to be only in artsy fartsy theaters and make maybe 500,000.
Maybe. It had a pretty aggressive.
It had a wide release. Okay.
It did.
So
Like,
people
it
already knew
is-
about it. Like they were hip
Yeah.
to it. So people went to see like
yeah.
multiple times probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the early days of the internet, and people like Quentin Tarantino and Harry Knowles are like driving people to shit like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of impressed that it made that much. Like I said, it's not good, but like for a US release of a film like this, that's
Right.
30 million. That's mind blowing for that kind of shit.
And this is actually a box office we've reviewed before because this movie releases the exact same weekend as Catwoman opens at number 3. So go back and listen to our Catwoman episode when we covered Catwoman that one time.
Nice.
Also opening this week at number 1, The Bourne Supremacy, opening to $52 million in its opening weekend. At number 2, down from number 1 in its second week, a future episode of this podcast, I, Robot.
Ooh,
The Will Smith, Alan Tudyk film.
That was okay,
3, as we said, was Catwoman. 4, Spider-Man 2, which is Spider-Man 2. Get me pictures of Spider-Man, which has been open for 4 weeks and is only down from number 2. It's earned $28.5 million up to this point. In 5th place, A Cinderella Story, that Hilary Duff Cinderella story.
Cool.
In 6th, the rounding out the top 10, we've got Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy at number 6.
You did it again.
That's funny. It again. At 7, we have Fahrenheit 9/11. 8th place, we have The Notebook. In 9th place, future episode of this podcast, King Arthur. That's the one with Clive Owen and Keira Knightley.
Oh, wow. Who cares? Really?
Yeah.
Is that a Paul W.S. Anderson joint?
No, that is Antoine Fuqua, actually.
Oh, wow. I was going to say close enough, but damn, that's
surprising
and a bit disappointing.
But here's the thing, like, Antoine Fuqua's always kind of had his foot in both worlds kind of thing with that kind of shit.
I guess.
So
I guess. We'll watch it. We'll talk about it.
We will. And then finally at number 10, Shrek 2. So there we go. That's
you guys, I'm
10.
so fucking over Shrek. You guys, I'm so over it.
We're getting a Shrek 5 this year.
Those movies, fine, whatever. They're great. And like, I love that people enjoy it from their childhoods and it's like nostalgic for them. But the memes ruined it. Like, it's just annoying to even think about Shrek anymore because the fucking memes.
I thought Shrek was fine, and then I rewatched it during pandemic, and I was like, "This sucks."
I will never rewatch it.
Actively sucks.
I just rewatched that with Beatrice.
You were the right age for that movie when it came out, though. Sam.
Yeah, Sammy,
you're clear.
Yeah. Your context
you grew
is
up with
different.
that shit in a way that we did not. We love you.
Sorry, I can't be as old as you, Steven.
We love you. We love you, sweet baby Sammy. We love you, sweet baby Sammy. Sweet little swaddling clothes baby Sammy. Rocking him to sleep in our giant arms.
Sorry, old man
all these
over there. Giving old man a heart attack.
And while we're beeping stuff, I'm just going to say one more time.
Damn it, Steven. Why you gotta complicate shit?
That one was for
Oh, man. You guys, there's gonna be nothing except for beeps. Okay? You gotta space them out, you guys. Jeez.
Well,
I'm not a miracle worker.
Between the beeps,
I did that monologue about...
Motherfucker.
I did the monologue about sweet baby Sammy. That's all staying in, right? We're not cutting that, are we?
Oh,
I don't think you said
sure,
during that.
I didn't. No.
Did you say during that?
Oh,
I did not. I did not. And I did not say.
Oh, Steven.
Oh, Steven, you crossed the line there, bud.
You crossed the line, Steven. You have crossed a line.
No, you know I'll cross the line when I start talking about. Then I cross the line.
And full circle. Moving on.
The tomatometer score for this movie is an 87%, certified fresh in point of fact.
Is wrong with
critics' consensus.
People love it.
Colorful, rich with action, and wonderfully choreographed. Takeshi Kitano takes on the classic samurai character.
No, it was bad.
With his own brand of cinematic flair.
No, I feel like there was a fight sequence that was inexplicably good. Was it like a flashback to a desert? There's like that sandy, rocky area. It was like a flashback or something. I didn't know
where he trips over the rock because even with his eyes open, he can't see a thing.
No, that's at the end. Silly.
Okay. My favorite.
Okay.
Quick, hilarious thing. I loved it when the guy pulled the sword out at the beginning and slice the other guy's arm.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was
a nice
awesome.
touch.
And then he ran, and then that was fun.
In a better movie, that would have been really rad.
I was gonna say that was before I realized how bad this was going to get.
Right.
And I had allowed myself to believe this could be fun at that point.
Well, mere seconds later, you see the CGI very clearly, and you're like, "Oh shit, this isn't going to be a good movie."
Yeah, exactly. You're disabused of that notion so quickly.
Yeah.
The Metascore is a 75. That's based on generally favorable reviews from 33 critics. And Tucker, you want to take a stab at the no pun intended at the Letterboxd score for this movie?
Okay, Letterboxd probably ironically and unironically likes this movie, so that I feel like that's gonna pump it up. Normally, I try to play it safe and keep it within the low 3s, high 2s, but on this one, I'm gonna say, I don't know, is it worth the risk? I'm gonna say 3.8. and 4.2, between 3.8 and 4.2. What is it, Steven?
3.7.
Son of a bitch!
Wow.
So close.
Damn.
I was so back for so long.
Almost.
I honestly, so damn close. So damn close on this one. So you guys, I love this so much. I'm not high anymore, just as a heads up. So, Sam, as our guest, how are you going to rank out of 5 stars the 2003 Zatōichi? We know it ranks at the bottom of your Zatōichi movie list. What do you give it as a star rating?
I did give it 2.5 stars.
2.5.
Which sounds higher than I would, but there was a lot of things I liked about it. It just wasn't a good movie. So it gets the 2.5 stars based purely off that I like the characters. I like some of the slow motion. I like some of the scenes. There was a good fight choreograph. The comedy bits were funny if they would have been in a different movie. There were things I liked, but overall it was not a good movie. And it pisses me off more than anything. But
no, totally fair. Tucker, whose name is not anything else that I'm going to say to get beeped out. How many stars are you ranking this one?
Actually, initially it was 0 stars, but building upon Sammy's review, he did remind me of some of the things that did stand out that could have been rad in a good movie. And outside of the context of that bad movie, there were endorphins, like I was having happy times in my brain. So I'm going to say a 0.5 star.
Okay, 0.5 for you.
You talked me into it, Sammy. You talked me into 0.5 star.
Yeah. Whereas I'm going with 2. Just plain old 2.
Fair enough. Wow. That sounds like a sell. I probably gave it a 0.5 star based off my biases. It probably deserves that too.
I that gives us a 1.6 repeating, so that's factor fair. In as like overall average between the 3 of us. So
that's fair.
Yeah. I think we're all happy with that number.
Also,
right.
Side note, his hair was bleached.
Yeah.
And why was he blonde?
I don't know.
Is Zatōichi blonde
a real thing?
No.
I mean, I get he wouldn't be able to have a stylist, so he really wouldn't be able to comment on what the stylist is doing with his hair.
Like Mary J. Blige, we know your hair is not blonde. Is all.
Did they bleach hair in that time period?
I don't know.
They probably could have, but I cannot confirm that personally.
Back in the day when they made movies like this, Chanbara films, they were actually like period pieces, so there was a lot of historicity in it. And if you get the old DVDs, there'll be like fun commentaries on the history that goes into it. This one didn't give a shit about history or anything.
Wait, how many of these are in color, the original films? Do they start out in black and white, or are they all in color?
No, they start out black and white. I think 5 and on is color.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I do like a good black and white aesthetic. Like back then, you had to know how to shoot on black and white. So
the cinematography
was so different.
Pretty good for what it is. Which are, they're low budget, but they made do with what they had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right. So Tucker now has his assignments for future viewing. And that's been our episode. Sam, what are you up to these days? Where can we find you, if at all, on social media? I know you've actually got a project you've been working on for several months, and I would love to hear you talk more about it.
Hell yeah. Actually, I would say for my personal social media, go to my Instagram. I am your pallbearer. That is my Instagram handle. Because I will be posting a lot more there moving forward. If I ever get the time to make the post, I have a very suffocatingly busy
I don't think
life.
I've ever seen a post from you, Sammy, and I'm totally following you.
Well, the algorithm probably.
Aren't I?
I don't post a whole lot on there, but I'm saying
I
moving forward,
am.
you're going to see a lot more coming from me. I post very rarely on there, anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fantastic.
starting back in August, a mutual friend of Stephen and I's, Zach Zuba, and me started our comedy show down here in Indianapolis. It's called the Department
Where
of Humor.
can I go to it?
Yeah,
Is it a thing, like a stage thing?
Yeah, it's the Wonderful Bar and Grill on the east side, right by my old house, off of Pendleton Pike and 38th.
Dude, yes, your old house. Yes.
Hell yeah.
That's fantastic. You guys, I'm so excited. You guys are going to keep doing this, right? Like, so when I move back in June, like, you'll still be doing it and I can go, right? Like,
I sure hope so. We have a contract for 12 episodes, so July is our last episode until we have to renew the contract with the venue because they had 10% equity in the show. But the show itself isn't just strictly a comedy show. It is a stand-up comedy show as the main core. Then we have a musical guest at the end.
A variety show,
a
even.
Variety show.
Yeah.
Because
having a variety.
Because in between the comedians on the actual show I post on YouTube, we try to get short films, trailers for movies made here in Indiana. We do interviews with artists,
sketches and shit.
Little
That's
sketches.
fantastic.
Yeah, we need more content.
Dude,
we need you guys from Indiana, from
how
Midwest here.
Can I watch this on the internet right now? What is this, Sammy? And how did I not know about it before?
It's on the YouTubes.
Direct me there.
Okay, it's called the Department of Menial Humor.
Department of what now?
The Department of Menial Humor.
Menial. Okay, there it is. Okay.
And check out and you know the quality. The quality is varying. I'm pissed off about this little side note stuff here. I'm pissed off about the upcoming episode because we didn't have enough light. Someone tried to sabotage our show.
Oh my gosh!
How did I not know about?
Yeah,
this,
I know. I didn't use metering. I should have used metering. I should not have trusted the camera LCD, but I did.
Well, that's a mistake you won't make again, though. So.
Yeah, but you know who else made that mistake? Murph. So he does this for a living.
Now that's true, but we do another mutual friend of ours. We do love, who you met because of a stray ass comment that you made about how the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise is not a slasher franchise, and you went on this huge rant, and Murph was this guy is my kind of guy. Like, you just went on this tirade, and Murph was like, interesting. Like, and that was what I think caught Murph's attention initially, which is hilarious to me. Like, now that you know Murph, you know why that's hilarious.
I would see him in the wild on the internet at cigar forums and stuff. Like, the fuck? I know this is Steven's friend. And then we would comment on your things. Fun fact, our lore goes deeper. I was going through my old emails. He sent me an email back when I was trying to put fun and games together, trying to audition for one of the parts. Yeah. He auditioned, I sent him part of the script and never heard back from him again. Saying he wrote it down. Oh, this sucks. Goes to that guy.
You guys, I love friendship lore. Friendship lore is so rad.
Sam sends me a picture of himself, our friend Zach, who I know through community theater, and our friend Murph, who I met through church. So I've got Sam, who I met through my ex, and then Murph, who I met through church, and Zach, who I met through theater, all in a picture together. And I felt like George Costanza when his worlds are colliding. I'm just like, this is the weirdest shit I have ever received. And I cannot compute this right now because it's three friends I know from three different places who all connected because of me. And there are some place where I am not.
Right. And well, I talk about our friendship with Stephanie too, because our connection is also really weird. Cause we went out, Stephanie's like, hey, I want to go out and do a couple's date with my work friend. It's like, okay. I'm talking to Steven. I'm like, hey, where do you work? And he's like, I work at Horizon Christian School. I was like, I graduated from Horizon Christian School. So,
and you graduated like the year before I got there. So we just missed each other.
Yeah. But yes, this is a comedy variety show hoping to showcase local talent.
Yo, I'm so there for it.
Yeah, if you're on the
And
YouTube,
maybe you could perform there too, Tucker. I know you've done some stand up in your time.
No,
stand up.
I would.
We need
no.
musicians. We need musicians.
You're a
There,
musician, Tucker.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
You do
did you go?
musician.
I'm an entertainer, really.
Did you go to our YouTube page and click on the playlist and see one that's just music?
I did, and I subscribed to it.
Hell yeah!
We're going to post it in the show notes.
How
for this
many
also.
months? How many months, Sammy? And how did I not know about this?
Yeah, it turns out I'm not very good at marketing, so I'm trying to get better.
Yeah, but look, like Sammy, we are good friends that do not need to constantly be in contact, but also, like when you start some shit like this, you gotta, I'm the audience for it. Like, holler at your boy is what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
If not for my sake, but for yours. Like,
yeah,
come on, man. I'm so
sorry.
bad right now. I've completely reevaluated our entire friendship, Sammy.
Oh no! Can I still call you?
Yo, you bastard!
and Department of Menial Humor also on TikTok as well.
Wow.
So there's lots of different places to find.
Yes, and we have a website, and you can also give us money and buy shirts on our website as well. And
buy shirts.
Merch is tight. Merch is tight.
We do love merch.
Yep,
we should get some merch going, Tucker.
Maybe one day when we're old enough.
Well, Printful, that's a website that I used.
Sure is. Yeah.
It's a drop shipping thing, but
I think Brett started a Redbubble account for us at one point.
I would say it's like a Redbubble thing, like TeePublic kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where they're like IP, what IP? What?
Right.
What IP? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
I don't see the IP. What?
But you'll see more coming from me down the pipeline because I did the video contest for the Internet Archive that you sent me a link to, Stephen. I did not win, obviously. I was too cerebral.
That's
so we'll see it coming out. Me and Stephanie have been doing Miss Rachel parodies that you'll actually see if you watch episode 7 of The Show Worth Watching. Or Miss Rachel.
Wow, this is something I'm tuned into. I'm also
just last Saturday. I
share a space with a toddler, so
okay. Hers
I'm familiar with this. That's fantastic.
Totally made that up one Saturday. She's doing like improv. She's Miss Rachel, but for like teaching people entering the workforce how to use office supplies.
Oh, that's funny. That's a fun concept. I like
it's
that.
Actually, some of the stuff's funny. We could plan it out better. We're gonna do some more. I hope they're pretty funny. And then me, Zach, and Murph, and some comedians that we had never met until the night before decided to do a short film just this last Saturday about a very serious. It's a very serious drama thriller.
Nice. Oh, wow. You guys also had an entry in the Doritos Super Bowl.
Yes, we did.
I saw that. That was good.
Right?
We were in there. Yep. And then in the next month or so, I believe. Our short film that we got started all this with, which is a horror spider film, should be released. And I think I'll have word from the final film fest if we made it in or not. But I'm going to release it publicly because we have lost every single film festival.
When you do release it, let us know and we'll have you on to promote it. We'll schedule a Tarzan or a Conan or something during that time frame so we can get you on.
I got a lot I have to work on. Also to get stuff out too. I took on some work with a startup tech company here. They need someone to edit videos for them, so I'm working on that. And their stuff is a lot to sift through. So and I got to work on. Stephanie has her painting classes, which if you guys want to do Bob Ross painting in the Indiana area, look her up.
Oh, she's doing the Bob Ross stuff now. I remember she was doing the wine and canvas stuff for a while, but she's on to Bob Ross now. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, she got certified and everything.
No, that's awesome.
She does a lot of that at the Anderson Museum, but and she does some down in Greenfield, so she doesn't have a set place where she does it. So if you want it for like parties or you want to get someone into your venue, bar or whatever to do classes, she's your gal.
Teach us how to make happy little trees.
Yeah.
Right on. When to use that big ass brush and when not to.
Exactly. I can't figure it out. I look at it, I'm like, it's not my thing.
That's cool though. I know she's always really loved that, so that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Glad to know you guys are doing well. That's awesome. But yeah, check out the Department of Menial Humor. I was initially a part of the core group on that a long time ago, and then my life went to hell and I moved. So yeah, I got out on that pretty quickly.
Well, this
Steven lore that I didn't know about. This is fantastic. I'm getting just a huge lore dump.
This is what started 2018. I think is when we started this.
Yeah,
and there was
that was when Zach originally had the idea. Yeah, there were a lot of people involved.
Pre-podcast. That's pre-podcast.
Yeah.
Wait, was that before your guys' podcast though?
No, we were podcasting at that point.
Oh, okay.
Sam and I were.
Okay.
Rule of Thirds. Don't check it out.
Yeah.
Did you say don't check it out?
That's some of our best. That's some of your best work.
Too late, motherfucker.
Why did you say that?
I mean,
also, you can have. I feel like Rule of Thirds is such a clever title. If you want to take that, you can have that.
I mean, we don't have 3 people consistently on the podcast at any given time. So
yeah, I mean, I know. I'm just
Tucker
saying.
and I are lucky if he and I can find time.
Look, you resurrect the podcast as a quarterly Patreon podcast.
Or we just take all of it and put it up behind a paywall. Like we pull it from the archive and we just put it up behind a paywall. If you want to listen to Rule of Thirds, you got to pay us.
But then you've got different creatives then. Are you going to put it under the disenfranchised umbrella or is it going to be its own separate thing?
It would almost have to be its own separate thing because it would be me, Sam, and Caleb would be trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I told Caleb hey, should we just give Steven all that? He's like, yeah, just turn over the IP to him. He can do whatever he wants.
I mean, okay, in that case, then I guess we'll put it up maybe behind the disenfranchised paywall. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. If we've got the blessing.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Sounds like we got
Patreon for a while.
There's one episode of that I really wanted to do that we never did. I still really want to do it, which is the best.
You guys should do it.
The best action movie from every Asian country.
I remember the list for that one. That was going to be a 4-movie one, so we could have Tucker on for that one.
I think it was going to be 5 actually.
What?
Oh, was it going to be 5?
I think we had Hard Boiled, Battle Royale.
Yes.
The Good, the Bad, and the Weird.
Yes.
We had Ongbak, Thai Warrior, and
the Raid.
The Raid. Yeah, so 5.
Wait, that's really cool. But you guys thought of me?
No, I'm just saying. I'm thinking of you now.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm thinking of you now. Because Sam was like, I wanted to do it. And I was like, well, if we did it now. And you're like, well, you can do it now. And I was like, well, if we do it now.
I'm flattered, but not. No, it's about 60% as flattered as I was when I thought.
I didn't really know you
previously.
when we were doing the other podcast. I didn't
but
meet
you could
until a couple
I was
years
a
later.
rad dude.
Okay, if you say so.
Just from your limited interactions with me.
The only interactions that I had actually had with you up to that point were me speaking to you through a microphone in a film because I was the voice of the brain in a jar.
Oh no! Well, yeah, that. But also, we did that one diner scene together, right?
That was later. That came later.
But we were at the diner at the same time. I don't remember if we were in the same scene when we were at the diner. No, because we were all sitting there. It was me and you, and Julie, and
it was the one day he got everybody down there, like almost everyone that had ever been. Because the 3 of us were there. His sister-in-law was there. Like the girl that played in the first movie was there. Like somehow Julie was
she
there.
was there.
We were all there at one time.
That was her big comeback. I forgot about her. Look, she worked at the clinic, and so whenever myself and another unnamed person would go to the doctor, she was just there. Like she was the receptionist. It's the girl from the first couple in the Elsewhere, the Goners things, not the Goners things, but the other things.
And I gave your brother such a hard time about not getting a group photo when everyone was there. I was like, you had all of us in one place and you didn't
We did get a group photo. Are you kidding me, Steven?
We got a group photo. It was another time that we got a group photo. It was
when we were at the diner.
Yeah, you, me, Joe, Julie, and Lauren.
Yeah.
It was just the 5 of us. Like Sam wasn't there that day. Mindy wasn't there that day.
Sammy, were you not there? I feel like you were there, but you were on camera. Because I kind of remember you maybe being there. Maybe you were just helping out. You weren't on camera.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I was off camera, but I think I was still there. Because I think I think Joseph did it on purpose. Because I don't normally come out to help him too much, but I think he did it on purpose because I think all of us were going to be there. I'm actually remembering this now. Yeah.
Well,
everybody was
and
there.
somebody look.
It was raining or
Sammy,
something like that, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yes.
And Mindy only stopped by for like 20 seconds, and then she dipped. He's like, I'm gonna get her stuff done real quick. You guys just sit there. And then I introduced myself to her as she was leaving, and I think that was like the last thing she ever did with him. And then he like killed her character off. Like he killed off half the characters that year.
Well, she had she had kind of started a family, so
right, yeah, she had twins, and that whole thing.
Her life changed, so we kind of
dramatically.
Yeah, I'm sorry, he kind of had to.
Yeah,
I give myself more credit than I deserve.
The royal we.
I guess so.
Fantastic! But yeah, check out the Department of Menial Humor. Check out the old was it the Endless Elsewhere stuff that we did together. I think the first one that the three of us all worked on together was, if I'm not mistaken, the Roman.
I had worked with Sammy before that.
Right. That was the first one I worked on, and you guys, I think, were both either in it or helping with it.
We were in like the pre-Endless Elsewhere stuff.
I've seen all that stuff.
I think that's where most of our crossovers crossed over. Like,
we did a lot of crossovers on the radio plays. Our three characters.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Also, I mean, obviously, me and Justin worked on the Goners and all that stuff way before.
Correct.
Before this even became a thing.
Yo, I was you before you were you. Like, I did a Clint Eastwood impression, and that was the voice of your character. And I think that like your physicality of it, I don't know if that's what you're trying to do, but it really matches like that radio play with the photos and everything. Fantastic.
Dude, I have the whole freaking photo. I have a box, sealed box. I have the photo book. I also have a CD that has the original recording on it as well. It has one of my favorite. It has my third favorite song of all time by Tucker on it.
That's me. Well,
you are my third favorite song of all time, by the way. Just
wow.
That's wild because like my audience is so small.
Yeah, Don't Fear the Reaper, Heaven Raining Bullets by Empire Hideous, and then Tucker, and then a bunch of MCC stuff after that.
Yeah, DED. That was a track.
Yeah.
I've always kind of wanted to redo it because like I see what's good about it, but also I see how much better I could make it now.
I almost sent you a video the other day, by the way, of my daughter bobbing her head and smacking her knee to your music.
Oh wow.
What song were we listening to? Death and Taxes. That's
flattering. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, she was tired.
I kind of rap in that one. Yeah, those were written as raps.
She was leaning on the cat going. I was like, but I didn't get a good enough video, so I didn't send anything to you. I was like, Justin's got to see this. I thought it'd also be weird if I just sent you a picture of my kid. So, out of the blue. I don't know.
Nah, he'd be okay.
I am straight up blushing right now.
No.
Like, I don't have, like, my music, like, I put my music out there. It's just out there for preservation purposes. Some people, like Sammy and a couple people I knew from high school, like, they're, for some reason, into it. And it's so flattering when any of those, like, 4 people are like, hey, man, like, I was listening to your music the other day, and I was like, why?
Yeah, I put it on. I'm like, I was thinking,
valid question.
It's cool,
Tucker.
but
valid question.
Also, like, I listen to it a lot, but why?
Yeah, it's not just like, oh, I'm not even doing it as a courtesy. I'm genuinely will sit here and be like, I'm gonna listen to some today. Sorry, you have to bleep out half of this.
No, it's fine. Like, no, it's.
He's like, maybe I won't bleep those out after all.
No, I have to. I've already accepted the challenge.
Sorry,
true, you
sorry.
did.
This is gonna be so sentimental and emotional. It's getting beeped out like a Jerry Springer show.
It truly is. It truly is. I have not been this flattered in a decade at least.
Well, I feel like we're gonna probably bullshit for a while longer. You can find the Disenfranchised Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Shoot us an email, disenfranchisepod@gmail.com. Join the official conversation, of the Disenfranchised Podcast over at patreon.com.
Hey, that's on Patreon.
Disenfranchisepod, correct. That's what I just said. For absolutely free,
I was affirming like a hype man.
Right. Thank you. You are the Flavor Flav.
I'm kind of trying to turn this into like a morning drive show. You know,
he's gonna have the sound effects board with the honks and the. I mean, we've already got the sound effects we don't use anymore because
which
Tucker
I wish we could. I
in.
wish we could because they're there, but I don't understand how to use them in the final mix. Like, am I supposed to edit this shit on Zencastr? I don't get it. All I know, yes, I was gonna say all I know is that it is
fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And our audience will never hear that.
No, I'll paste it in. I'll paste it
Okay.
in, man.
Just there.
Right there, I'll paste it in. I already have to listen to the whole thing.
You do.
There's so many
because...
and fucking I have to listen to the whole thing. So what? Anything goes at this point.
Bless you, Tucker. Fucking A.
You bastard.
You said anything goes.
It's true, I did.
In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was the dawn of something shocking, but now God knows anything goes. And for $5 a month, you can get access to everything behind the paywall, which may be episodes of my old podcast, Rule of Thirds, now that I apparently own the IP.
Maybe.
So
Steven's the sole stakeholder in Rule of Thirds. Like, he owns every share of that stock.
Which, by the way,
market don't mean shit to him because it's all his money.
Was very memorable stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed the Coen Brothers saga we did on that, where we watched all the
every
Coen Brothers
fucking Coen Brothers movie.
I want to hear that. We got to put it on the Patreon because I am a patron of my own podcast, and I want to hear that.
Yeah,
it's
so
great.
Maybe we start dropping weekly episodes of Rule of Thirds, which was a monthly podcast.
Oh my God.
Or maybe we drop them monthly as they were initially released, and as
disclaimer. I was going through a bad time then, so I don't know what I said during any of those podcasts. So if you hear something from me that's offensive, I'm sorry.
You guys shut me down a lot. That's all I know. It's almost like being on this podcast.
Hey,
where Tucker and Brett have very similar sensibilities, so it's usually me going, "What about this?" and them going either A, "Yeah, that's fine, whatever," or B, "Abso-fucking-lutely not. You're the worst guy in the world." Fuck you, Steven.
I was a little more aggressive then. Remember, I'm a recovering edgelord, so
yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
And
I always forget because you made such like a swift and like really
you and Caleb both had that energy and
over-encompassing recovery from that.
Yeah. Well, the first time I saw someone on Facebook who I thought was stupid post, man, everybody's stupid. I thought, oh shit, are we all stupid? They just unraveled my entire brain.
Wait a minute.
There you go.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I have often thought about that myself. Because if someone truly is kind of stupid, can we get mad at them for their mistakes?
I just can't take myself too seriously about anything. That's kind of where I.
But like, as long as I'm self-aware, and I am,
like to think I am. Yeah.
Where is the like? How stupid am I? Like, at what point do I become not responsible?
Well, Tucker,
for
let me
something
explain
because of my like intellect, whether it's high or low.
Yeah.
You guys, fuck. What the fuck? It's 2 hours in, and you're bringing up this existential shit, man.
I'm trying to end the fucking episode.
Yeah, well,
to my credit,
I'm
trying to end this sumbitch.
Well, I'm up until 7 a.m. Thanks, guys.
Well, I'd love to hear your thoughts because that's what unraveled me, and so. I was like,
hey, what are your thoughts?
I avoid philosophy.
What are your thoughts on that? Let us know. Shoot us an email at disenfranchpod@gmail.com or hit us up on Blue Sky or YouTube or Letterboxd at disenfranchpod. I am your host, Stephen Foxworthy. You can find me on Letterboxd and Blue Sky. That's it. Just those two at Chewy Walrus. Brett can sometimes be found on Letterboxd at sus_warlock. Tucker, where can we find you these days?
I am on Instagram and YouTube at Ice909. That's ICENINE, the number 0 and the number 9. You should really check out the YouTube because Sam has little Sammy here has, like, it's not often people are like, hey, your music's all right. So like I feel compelled in this moment to be like, anybody who hasn't been to my YouTube to check out some of my old bullshit, like, maybe check it out. It might be your thing.
It definitely is.
Maybe check out that bullshit.
It's probably not, but maybe it is. Like,
it's their thing.
And I have taken those kind of chances my entire life when it comes to music, and more often than not, good comes of it.
It's their thing.
Well,
it's your thing, listener. Trust me.
It's your thing. Do what you're gonna do. I can't tell you who to suck it to.
You could, but why would you?
I would never.
You shan't.
I can't, and I shan't, and I
also,
won't.
Tuck Mugs is on Instagram for now. That's Tuck_Mugs. We are currently not submitting anything to Tuck Mugs, but if you want to send us guest mugs, we will throw those up when we figure out our migration that we've been planning for a while. So keep sending them. Instagram at Tuck_Mugs.
We'll collate and figure out what to do with them.
Yeah,
it has been a while.
If you have a submission, also email it to disenfranchedpod@gmail.com. It's been a while because, like, we kind of fell out of favor with Meta.
Yeah. We don't really want to give, Zuck any more.
But at the same time, content. Like, sometimes I get inebriated enough that I do be posting on Instagram, though.
I know. Yeah. I've seen it. It's okay.
I'm not proud of it.
I still scroll and like shit too, but I don't post.
I appreciate your likes.
Yeah. And depends on what account I'm signed in on. If I'm signed in under Disenfranchised will give you a like. If I'm signed in under Chewy Walrus gives you a like.
It do be like that.
It do be like that. Well, that should just about wrap it up. 2 hours in and going strong. Here we are, listeners. We made it through another episode of our Big in Japan 2, even bigger theme month. Join us next week for another big old Japanese movie straight from Japan. And yes, it does involve something quite giant. Is it a kaiju movie? Yes, it is. And Tucker's very excited.
I mean,
I am.
Look,
you want to come back next week, Sam?
No, because the deal was, I said, Stephanie, which one should I do? And she said, well, the thing, because I've never watched the movies. I've seen one a long time ago.
Okay.
She said,
should I be beeping this?
Yeah, beep this. Just you're beeping everything else, so you might as well.
Copy.
The thing I can do with Beatrice. Because since I've never seen it, I can watch the first time with Beatrice. Because they're more kid friendly. I remember that.
Yeah.
The old ones
It's the kid kaiju, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I chose Zatōichi. Because I was like,
friend to children, right? Friend to children.
Yeah. Because I've only seen like 5 Zatōichi movies. I'm not an expert.
Well, it's for the children. But yeah, go on.
Well, it's the same thing, but yeah.
That's why I chose Zatōichi over the other one.
And we're going to have you, I've got an episode that we have on the schedule for later this year that we're going to have you back to discuss, because it's another one of those franchises that I know you hold near and dear. So,
well, I do feel like you overestimate how much I hold near and dear. I've only seen the first 1.5 of them. I couldn't get
what is it? I'll bleep it. I want to know what it is. What is it?
We're going to do the Eli Roth, Bruce Willis 2018 remake.
What was the one where they changed the name and it was Kevin Bacon? Death Sentence?
Death Sentence. Yeah, that's a James Wan movie. Yeah.
Can we do that like one after another?
Let me see if I can make it work in the schedule.
Can we put those together and have Sandy back on both?
I do like that movie. It's not what I thought it was going to be, but I never really watched the other ones.
I didn't either. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen any of them motherfuckers. I just know about them peripherally because I'm a genre fan. So like
the way you and Caleb would talk about and Dirty Harry when we were doing Rule of Thirds just kind of made me feel like that would be a franchise that you had a lot of strong feelings for.
Yeah, I really do like the first one. With caution, I know that Dirty Harry and gets put in the same category as like Red Dawn and Lethal Weapon.
Correct.
So
yeah,
I do like them with caution. I don't like if it helps you guys, I hate the Lethal Weapon movies, every single one of them, because ACAB.
Really?
I really actually truly do.
Well, I mean,
no, they suck.
I don't know.
And look, the Dirty Harry movies don't even make sense, because in the first movie he's one character, in the second movie he's taking down characters that are him from the first movie, but I
like
love
Rambo.
I love them
Nope.
both.
Yep.
So I'm okay.
Yeah, no, I get
I
it.
just ignore
It's like I don't think that you have to agree with the ideology to appreciate the filmmaking
Yeah.
and the experience as a whole.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like-
Like that, I mean, that first Dirty Harry movie, like that, one of the first, not the first scene, but one of the first scenes of that movie, this motherfucker is just trying to eat a hot dog. He just go to the spot, get his hot dog. It's lunchtime. And damn it, if there isn't a bank robbery going on. And this boy shoots like 6 dudes while he's eating his chili dog. Like he's actively eating his chili dog and stopping this robbery. And it's magic. It's cinematic magic. Do I agree with the ideology? No, but it's fantastic to watch.
Yeah, you'll never
Truly,
catch
truly is.
eating a hot dog and shooting people, which is good for all of
Never.
us.
I would never do that, but will I
Never.
watch it in a silly, fantastic way? Yes. Yes.
And that's all we got for this episode of the Disenfranchised Podcast. Thank you all for listening. Very special thanks to our very special guest, Mr. Samuel Dumas. Sam, thanks for joining us.
It's always a
love having you
pleasure.
on.
Always.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Again, whenever you got something you want to plug or promote, give me a holler and I'll put you on the schedule, man. We'll figure something out.
Watch my show.
There it is. Yeah, watch a show worth watching.
Also,
over on
give
YouTube.
us money, please, because we lost our sponsorship with Robert, so we don't have cameras for our next episode unless Murph comes through. So help us out.
Give Sammy money.
We have a Patreon,
I
but we don't
endorse
have
it.
anything interesting
Yeah.
there. Like it's
Okay.
free. It's just there for you to give us money.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, give them money. Why not? Why don't you? It's not like
You
the
gotta
economy's
do that
collapsing
buy me
around
a
it.
coffee thing, right? Like that's
Coffee?
more of like a one-time donation thing. It's like called Buy Me a Coffee, right? It's kind of like
Maybe.
Patreon, but instead of like a subscription, like people just
Yeah, I'm
like
gonna look
donate
for
like
other.
you would on a Twitch stream or something.
I'm gonna look for other stuff because we already set the Patreon account up before we even realized how to actually use it, and it really I don't think it's gonna work super well unless we had a whole lot of behind the scenes
So
stuff.
did we.
Yeah. So right now everything on there is free to see, but there is stuff on there that I didn't post on the YouTube.
Oh, there you go. Behind the scenes stuff.
One thing, yeah.
Content.
There's a great video where Zach just absolutely loses his fucking shit.
Oh,
Like,
that's always fun
it's
to
something
see.
we all
Not
need
a
to
bad,
see, I
not in a
feel
bad
like.
way. He doesn't get mad. He's just like talking. He's just fixing the microphone, and I'm running and everything. He's fixing the microphone, and he's talking, and then like he goes on this insane tangent, and never gets to a point. And
That's
he just goes
Zach.
on all these tangents. Yeah, he just goes and goes and goes and goes, and then the show. I just start the show. I'm like, we're rolling, man, and so he just segues into the opening of the show.
That's amazing.
I didn't include
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah, I may have included that rant in the episode. So yeah, technically it is on YouTube, but
Okay.
That's
the
the kind
episode
of
you
shit
should watch.
Patreon's for, though.
Exactly. So until next time, I have been your host, Stephen Foxworthy, for my co-host, Tucker, the absent Brent Wright, and the very present, very special Samuel Dumas. Until next time, dun 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 dun. Should I be done? Okay.
That's not 227, Steven.
That's Zatōichi is the 18, motherfucker.
Yeah, but what? Come on, man. 227.